Thumbs up, please. So I can't hear you with the music.
Okay.
So just a quick thumbs up. Let me know. Remember, I don't know if you have your headphones in or your headphones out, so I don't know if I need to yell or shout. So what we need to do is when we're done with this show is we got to figure out why when I mute you, you can't hear me. Wait a second. Maybe this will work.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That worked. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We're trying to get situated. Facebook does what it always does and throttles us. Wouldn't let us book our show, but it looks like things are starting to work right now. Olivia and I are in the house. We are going to do audience bingo, I guess. I don't know if that's what it's called. But essentially, you're going to decide what we're going to do tonight. I have about 70% of the T.S. Dixon interview complete, and I'm telling you, it's fire. And we are willing to go in. There's going to be some contingencies. You're going to have to help us out, and we're going to figure it out if we want to do that, or if we just want to do regular news and do phone calls. We've prepared for both. Olivia has her vote. She just wants to do regular news and get the hell off. But we're going to leave it up to you. Is that right, Liv?
Yes.
Okay. It's Friday. It's Red Friday. Be sure to get your red on. And please share the hell out of this. I want to have a good Friday tonight. We have a good chance to have a really good show. I think some people are coming back from vacation. This is the week that they tend to come back. So hopefully we can have a really good show. Let's get this shared out. We'll find out. We'll see you in 3 minutes or so. Be right back.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Hi, Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the Dumb Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. You've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Good evening, everyone. Hang on. Matthew has to take care of something technical, so I'm going to try and start the show.
You can talk about dumbshow.com. You can talk about donations.
I was going to talk about the guests we have upcoming.
Okay.
And pull up the calendar. So last night we had T.S. Dixon, of course. And on the 8th, Friday, August 8th, we have Mandy and Jack. They were here a couple months ago, the husband and wife documentary team. That they are fantastic. Alan Donovan from Fathers Lives Matter will be here on Friday, August 15th to kind of update what's been going on the last couple of years since he's been here, and as well as cancer update for him and what
Has it really been that long?
It's been just about. How long have I been on? I started in May of 2023, and I went on camera in like July, right?
Yeah, so you're at your 2-year mark from putting your face out there.
Yep. And then Monday, the 18th of August is Lisa Regina. She'll be back in the house. It'll be nice to have a full hour or so with her because we only got 30 minutes with her on the big show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that'll be nice.
Could
and
you
then
fix
working
that?
On a few more as well.
Could you fix that lid that Hayden put up there so she lets the cups dry?
Oh.
Yeah, it's just driving me crazy. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We have had massive requests to get those lids in house, and the cups in house. And I just want to let you know, they're sold out, and they've been sold out for quite a while. And I don't know if we're going to get them back in stock. This is why we try to let people know when we get something in, pick it up as quick as you can, because things sell out. And they're amazing. I mean, Liv, you agree? These cups?
Yeah, I love them.
They're ridiculous.
And they keep it cold too, which is nice.
So we're going to do our best to get more in, but things sell out fast here. All right. So we need to, there's Olivia. She looks great. Very pretty.
Yo.
Okay. And then I got this one done because we were just a little bit behind because of Facebook because they're being turds. All right. So here's the thing. How many years has the Dumb Show been on air? Okay. So my first official show was in, I believe, October of 2021. No, 2020.
Yes.
And so it was October 2020. And that was really kind of an ode to everything that was going on with COVID and everything else. It was a rant fest. And the official Don't Unfriend Me brand was like November. I think I made LLC in November. Excuse me. Maybe December. So let's just say October of 2020. So our 5-year anniversary is coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. So 5-year anniversary is coming up. Olivia, I love your hair, Ginger says. She does look beautiful, doesn't
Thank
she?
You. Appreciate it.
So Olivia looks amazing, Patriot JC says.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? I mean, just get it out there.
He's not feeling any love.
No. It started with yogurt, and then it started with dinner, where I always get the smallest pork chop, but I'm the biggest person. And
I give you the biggest pork chop. It's just not the thickest, because here's the thing:
thickest,
if I give
if
I give you the thickest, but it's the smallest, you're going to complain it's not the biggest.
I never complain about a thick pork chop. But what's interesting is it makes me wonder if all those years you've used the word big and thick actually make me feel good, or if I just don't really know to trust you anymore.
Just don't trust me.
All right. So we have a choice tonight. We can go through the regular. Listen, we can talk about Epstein. We can talk about liberals. We can talk about all that stuff. But we do have the interview from T.S. Dixon, and it's almost done. It's about 70% done. And the real meat and potatoes of it, they're set. And it's good. And when I say good, picture quality, transitions, I mean, it's got a Joe Rogan feel to it. It's the communication, the interview, it's like a 70-30 trade-off. I talk 30% of the time, he talks 70, and I go into interview mode. And you guys have never really seen me in interview mode. And I'm a much better, when I'm in person, I'm a different interviewer than when I have people digital. I hate digital. I can't stand it. And I love human interaction. And so it's in my opinion, and I'm trying to be unbiased. I sent TS a message and I said, it's the best interview you've ever done, hands down. And I believe it is. And you just have two people literally dueling, and not always in lockstep, but there's questions that just keep extending the conversation into a plethora of really unexplored and unknown ideas that have just been lost due to the sands of time. And there's so much history that we just don't know and don't talk about because people don't spend the time to be a purveyor of history anymore. And it really, in my opinion, is very much like a Neil Tyson Degrassi conversation, or a micro conversation, or one of those deep Joe Rogan conversations where you just listen and learn a lot. It has that feel, but it's more about historical, theological. We go through addiction. We go through Snowden. We go through John F. Kennedy. And it's 3 hours and it's fantastic. So there's that. Then if we don't want to do that, we can go ahead and just do regular news, Friday night, Red Friday. And I don't mean to downsell it. It's like you can get a hysterectomy or you can go to Disneyland. Which one you guys want to do? That's what it kind of sounds like right now. But we can do a regular Friday, and there's good stuff to talk about, and we can do what we always do and take phone calls and kind of do all that. I do not have a Red Friday Gold Star story tonight, and I'm sorry. The first week we've missed. And the reason why is because I have spent all day working on this edit. And if you guys understood how long it takes to do a 3.5 hour edit, I'll just give you a snapshot of what this entails. Real quick, and then you can understand what I've been doing all day. Olivia's been working and taking care of kids, which is honestly more tumultuous than what I do. This is just a 30-second segment here. Welcome to the Unfriend Show. You've been on virtually. This is the first time. And all these things that you see here are video, sound. I know. Sound. I don't want to switch the sound.
Oh, okay.
And all of these things right here are all of the transitions. And then you've got below that audio transitions. And this is just for literally 15 seconds of video, 30 seconds of video. Now, that's the work I've done up to here, including color grading and audio and sampling. So these are cuts and segments and transitions. All of this has taken 8 hours. I have another 2 hours of work. I was almost done. I had to eat, and I'm sorry I failed you. But it's still good enough for government work. And the great thing is, even if it's not edited, and I'm willing to show it all, because I know what the content is, and there's really nothing there that I would want to edit. In fact, the video, I've taken out 12 seconds of footage. 12. One of them was when we got a beep in the headphone line, and it transferred to here. We don't know why. And the second is when Ash literally busted open the door and we all got a flash like vampire light. Otherwise, everything else is good. And so that's pretty much it. So if you want to watch it, I need to know, and Liv's going to collect votes, and the voting is now open.
I have 3 votes so far, and that's it. I'll say do Call on Friday and regular news. They all want to watch the interview in full.
The interview will be in full, and I am staying on until it's finished. So if we started right now, it'd be over at 10:30. Olivia doesn't have to be here. Olivia knows that she's going to go and just do donations, but we have to do donations. I can't stay on for 3.5 hours and not hit goal. I just can't do it. I can't afford it. So I need some help, and we got to recognize the quality of the content and just be like, hey, you know what? Where we recognize the amount of work that went into this, let's go ahead and just get that donation thing out of the way, and I will play it in full.
I don't understand Patriot's comment. Do Call on Friday, but with a challenge like speak and upspeak. Only just for fun. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
No, it's not about what I want. It's what you want. I'm here for you. Either way, Olivia and I are going to be here till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We do a regular show because it's Friday and we always do. And we kind of kick off and we kind of just race across the finish line of a super long week. And then we go have massive amounts of copious amounts of sex. So
Ginger wishes we could do a weekend show every once in a while.
Well,
but
it doesn't mean we can't. But let's solve this first. I'll never hire an editor. I'll never let anyone edit my work. Never. I won't do it. I won't do it. Yeah, I can't because the you'll see why if we watch this video you'll see why. I'm just waiting. Is that it? Is that all we have?
That's as far as all the comments I've seen about their opinion for tonight's show.
Okay, Tamar says news. Okay, it looks like. How about we do a compromise? How about we do a compromise? Is that now, Liv?
Yes, that was just now.
Thank you. How about we do a compromise? How about we take it to whet your appetite? We'll take it till 8 o'clock. You guys watch the first 30 minutes of it. Then I'll pull it back. And then, holy shit. Charlottesville, Virginia. Hi, this is a new caller. What do you want to talk about?
Just saw that y'all just started y'all stream, and I figured I'd call in and ask if y'all like trains.
If I like, okay, this should be interesting. First of all, what's your name? This is kind of a standard. What's your name?
Just Dave.
Just Dave? You sound confused. Did your parents not tell you when you were born?
Oh no, my name's Dave. I was just saying.
I know, but you're just Dave. Like you were struggling to figure that out. Okay, Dave, and you're from Virginia?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, what's your question, sir?
I was just wondering if y'all like trains.
Trains. Do we like trains?
Yeah, like railroads.
How we say, like trains like in a dress, or railroad choo-choo on a track, or trains as in sexual positions with multiple partners?
Oh my God, Matthew, of course.
Gosh, that last one sounds disgusting.
Yeah, but I'm sure it does. Well, it depends.
Oh my goodness.
So
Gosh, I'm talking about railroads, not that thing. Gosh.
I understand. So do I like trains? Not particularly, but I do appreciate the fact of their sheer power and their ability to perform a job. But go ahead, hit us with the punchline.
Oh no, that was it. I was just going to ask if y'all liked railroads.
That's it. Really, you just called in to see if we like railroads. Why do you like railroads? Yep. Or why are you asking? Do you have an affinity for them or an aversion to them or something?
Oh no, I love them. I absolutely love railroads.
What is it about railroads that you love?
Oh, I love the history about them.
Okay.
Some of the. Oh, go ahead.
No. Please go. Please.
I just really like the history about them.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that a lot of the infrastructure in a lot of countries with railroading is basically dates back from the 1800s and still works.
Yeah.
Sometimes flawlessly, sometimes it's got its issues. I like the history of the locomotives. I really love learning about how different steam locomotives work and all that stuff.
Have you been to Durango, Colorado by chance?
I have been needing to go there.
You sure
I've
do.
been researching the railroads, specifically the one that is no longer in Durango. but I really need to get over to Durango sometime soon.
So what did they stop running it in Durango because it was a full
No, so there was at one point 3 lines into Durango.
Mm-hmm.
You had the line from Chama, New Mexico into Durango.
Yeah.
You had the line from Durango to Farmington, New Mexico.
Yeah, I remember that.
You had the line that's still there, the line to Silverton.
But
is
Silverton the one that crosses into Leadville?
No, that's a completely different railroad.
Okay, different line. Okay, all right. So fair
enough. Yeah, the track at Durango that's still there literally only runs up to Silverton and back.
I got you.
The one I've done a little research into is the one that ran from Durango, sort of curved around Durango and then went up north to Ridgeway, Colorado.
Yeah, so we went on it when I was younger, and yeah, it was incredible. And of course, we go through some of the tunnels, and I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, conductor comes by and says, "Everyone put up their windows," and it's 110 degrees outside, and because you're literally going to have the Black Death inside your cabin because it's an old.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say back when you guys went, they were still running coal on the locomotives. They recently just switched them to oil.
Yeah. So they were running. This was when I was much younger. So yeah, they were running coal there. All right. So let me ask you a question. You've got the automobile, which is the horseless carriage, which revolutionized America as far as travel. The trains really were a secondary thought to cattle and moving goods and mercantile from the coasts, and then obviously made the transition into the international highways under FDR. Where would you rate the locomotive as far as one of the most important inventions to modern day America and getting us to where we are today? I mean, put it in a scale of 1 to 100.
I'd say pretty high up, like somewhere in the mid 90s, because still to this day, the American economy depends heavily a lot on the major railroads.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with intermodal traffic.
Sure.
Because there are a lot. Railroads have found that to be very profitable over the years, and that really it's more efficient to put a crap ton of intermodal containers on a flat car and power them by train than send however many containers on trucks where they can only pull like one at a time. Plus, there's some pretty cool locomotives that were used over the years in intermodal service.
So, a couple questions. Have you ever been to Tokyo, Japan?
I haven't. I have seen a little bit of the railroading that goes on out there, and it is insane.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know a whole lot about Japanese trains, but it's nuts from the little bit I've seen of it.
Yeah, bullet trains incredible, and just the views and going past Fiji is incredible. I had a chance to go on when I was in Yokosuka, went to Roppongi in Tokyo, climbed Fiji, but the train it's really the only way to get around. Okay, and then just an interesting tidbit. I grew up in Ventura, California on Neath and Montgomery, and you can actually look Neath and Montgomery, Ventura, California, the streets. And if you look, I'll just give you the address, 8486 Neath, Neath. And if you look at it on Google Maps, you will see literally, less than 10 yards away from the backyard fence line, there is a train line. And the Pacific Railroad would go past my house 2 times a day and 8:12 in the morning. And then usually around 5:40 to 5:47 every night. And when I say that you get used to a train, you do, because I remember that I would go to Bakersfield and I'd come home, and then it would go by after 3 months up there, and I would absolutely hear it, and I'd be like, my God. But I'm not kidding, man. We would sleep through that thing without any problem, and you get so used to it. So yeah, I grew up next to a train my whole life. So Dave, I want to apologize to you.
Cool.
I want to apologize to you for one thing. Is when I was mocking you when you came on, because you sounded very much like a troll. One is because you.
I don't really troll. I just like to call on and see if people like trains. That's
I love it. That's why I wanted to apologize. And second, you have a good voice, And usually people who do
thanks.
have a radio show or something else, and they're just here to pull a fast one. So I want to apologize for mocking you when you first came on.
And it's no big deal. I get it all the time.
What else about like favorite train? Are you a steam guy? Are you a coal guy? Are you
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
So I grew up in South Carolina, and I've been researching it a lot. There's a short line that ran steam locomotives until about 1970, and they had a locomotive number 19. It was the Rockton Ryan. That's probably up there as one of my favorite locomotives.
What was the color scheme on that sucker?
All black.
Oh, okay.
This was a granite hauling short line that barely put any maintenance into anything, so all the locomotives were just covered in soot. It's a fun engine. It got hit by hopper cars at least 3 times during its stay on the railroad.
No way.
Yeah, they didn't use air brakes at all, and runaways were decently common even after the railroad was closed down and reopened as a railroad museum.
It's using friction brakes, or what type of brake system were they running?
Just using friction brakes, yeah.
Jeez.
It's funny because I can't find a date on when they bought this thing, but they had a tank engine they bought from a contracting company that had dual air pumps on the front of it for air braking. Within a year, both of them were gone.
Yeah. What was it? Was it just consistent failures, or?
No, they just didn't use air brakes. They had no use for them. All they were doing with that locomotive was moving like maybe 5 flat cars at the most on decently level track, and I believe they just got guys out there and turned the handbrakes on the individual cars if they needed extra braking power.
That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know nearly enough about trains. I know Union Pacific is what the words I was looking for, not South Pacific or Pacific, but Union Pacific Railroad.
Yeah, they just made headlines. They're looking on merging with the one of the eastern railroads around here, Norfolk Southern.
Oh yeah, that's a big merger.
That's probably going to be a disaster, but it's going to be interesting.
Of course it is. The only thing that would be worse if the federal government took over the railways. So here's one question for you, and then I'm going to let you go, because even though I wish our show tonight would be about locomotives, unfortunately it is not. But I still always appreciate people with passion, and that's important to me. So I'm gonna give you the piece de la résistance, so to speak, and you're going to tell me what the most influential locomotive movie as the centerpiece around the movie would be. So if magic is the topic, we would probably say Harry Potter, and we would say The Sorcerer's Apprentice and stuff, and Abracadabra and stuff like that. So what would be the most influential locomotive based /engine /train movie in your bag of tricks? I'll give you mine. You give me yours. Olivia will give you hers, and then I'll give you mine. Good luck, Liv.
It's got a very funny name, but I'd have to go with the Titfield Thunderbolt out of Britain from 1953.
No way. I've never even heard of it. So this is specifically an English film.
Yes. Britain had the very first preserved bit of rail line in the world, and a lot of the stories from that rail line were adapted for the Titfield Thunderbolt. And it's about a group of people who just got their British Railways just closed down their branch line, so they're trying to run it themselves, and it's hilarious.
Wow. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, I had no idea. Now, of course, because I'm curious, I'm going to look it up. Liv, do you have a movie? Listen, and it doesn't have to be centered around that. Anything with a train in it at this point. I'm throwing you.
Well, I was going to say I don't have any idea as far as movies that are centered around trains, but the first one that popped in my head was Fighting Sullivan's. Because his dad worked on the train.
I love
you.
The fact that that is the one I was going to pick.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's one of the
I've
most.
never heard of that one.
Whoa! Now slow,
That
David. We are now in sacrilege territory.
That one's actually a true story, and it is the reason behind. I don't know what the bill is, but it's the reason why if
it's a Survivors Act.
It's the Survivors Act. It's the reason why if there is multiple brothers that both all go into service or family. And someone dies and the remaining person is the last surviving heir of that family, then they are taken out of service.
Yeah, they can't go to a forward deployment. So the Survivors Act is very similar to a guest we have in here, Ryan Weaver, who lost 2 brothers. And then he essentially was the living heir, and then the Survivors Act kicked in. The Fighting Sullivans, predominantly, everyone thinks they died on the USS Arizona and Pearl Harbor. That's not true. Several did, but they also died in World War II, Japanese U-boat and German sunk ships, and they died out to sea. But the point is that they lost all of their brothers.
All 5 of them.
All 5 of them died, and the family lost them. 4 of them died in Pearl Harbor. I think one of them did by a German U-boat, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, and on that, their father, it goes through their lives and their trials and tribulations through their youth all the way up until being young men, and then finally Pearl Harbor takes place and they all join. But it's a beautiful story. It's hands down. It's an iconic film because it was very similar to It's a Wonderful Life or something like Rear Window. It literally changed the face of cinema, and it really kicked off the movies that you then saw. Whether it be John Wayne or A Bridge Too Far or Storm the Beach of Normandy or Sands of Iwo Jima. And it really kicked off the military classics to a point where they could start telling more home-based U.S. Mom and pop apple pie and also cover the story of war too. So it was just an iconic movie. And if you have not seen it, please take some time tonight, grab the wife or not, or kids or no kids or dog or whatever it is, and sit down and get some popcorn and watch The Fighting Sullivans, and I promise you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I got to check that out. That sounds like a very darn good story.
Awesome. Dave, you are my favorite single serving friend of the week, and I am absolutely tickled that you called, dude. You are you're the person I want to talk to. I don't care about politics. I love people like you, and I love your passion, man.
Yeah, I'm happy I could be on. Very nice talking to y'all. Y'all have been very nice people to talk to.
Well, don't worry. We'll if you keep watching, we'll probably like, who the hell are these people and why the hell are, because we have opinions and we're focused on politics and such, but we do appreciate a good conversation for sure.
Yeah, well, it's been very nice talking to y'all. I'll definitely have to check out that movie sometime this week.
Let me know and then call back and let me know what you think of it. Fair?
Absolutely.
I will.
All right.
I've got the house to myself for 2 weeks, so I'll definitely put it on the watch list.
All right. Let me know what you think of it, please. We're looking forward to it, buddy.
I will.
All right,
Dave.
Have
a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. I would have sworn he was a troll. Like you couldn't have given me any more troll vibe when he first called.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great call. Great conversation. What a cool dude.
So I totally forgot to mention this the other day.
Oh, yeah, we need to do this.
I told Lisa I would.
Okay.
But her and her husband are in a contest right now of who is America's favorite couple. And I guess there's different groups and stuff like that. So her and her husband were in 8th, they're now in 6th. And I told her I would just share the link out to vote. The winning couple gets $20,000 and they're going to take that $20,000 and put it into their nonprofits, the Right to Heal and the other one.
Please put the link in real quick and then send it
right
to me
now.
so I can flash it up on the screen. By the way, my favorite movie, and I knew Olivia was probably going to pick either Harry Potter or Fighting Sullivans. I
didn't even think about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know.
I thought about Polar Express though.
Ugh, Dead Eyes, really weird. Third would be Silver Streak with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, which is just a fantastic movie. If you have great comedy, it's a murder mystery / comedy, and it's not slapstick, but it's definitely got some funny parts. But what a great call!
I sent it to you.
All right, so let's get to it.
Yeah, very cool. It's kind of nice to have just something offbeat and you had absolutely no idea.
Oh, I agree.
And it was neat. All right.
Yeah, this
Bobby
is
Richardson, 103.48. Hopefully a good start, love to all.
that
Thank
is
you
a great start,
very
and we
much.
definitely need it tonight. So if we could help out, we'd greatly appreciate it. And you can donate to the Don't Unfriend Me Show at thedumbshow.com/donate. It's all built there for you. You can have Apple Pay, credit card, PayPal, Venmo, doesn't matter. It's all encrypted, SSL secure. You will be absolutely fine. And we've had now 7,500 donations to our site, and there has never been any opportunity for fraud or anything else. People are very happy with that. Oh, another caller. Elizabeth, hold on. I'm doing a segment. So currently in 6, our good friend, you gotta mute your phone, Elizabeth. You gotta mute your phone while I'm talking. Hold on a second. Mute it up. Okay. Currently in 6, you can go and vote. This is just like Still Point. They are going to give $20,000 to charity. And this is about favorite couples in Virginia. If you go, and please, everybody go and do this. Olivia, just put it in the chat. Go vote right now.
I already put it in.
Right. Olivia, just put it in the chat. Like I said, go vote right now. And please, let's help them out. We would love to see them get to, I'm not going to vote until later because I want to come back and see where we are.
You can do one vote a day.
One vote a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Elizabeth Hall, you've got a couple minutes. What can we do for you, ma'am?
Hey, I wanted to, first of all, say that the results of the national education came about, and where we were 49th in Oklahoma, now we're 50th at the bottom. So that's not good. And as you know, I was not renewed for my contract for this coming year, so I'm having to find a new job. But my student scores went up, so... What are they keeping? What kind of educators are they keeping here in Oklahoma?
Well, what is it? Is it tenure that's protecting these people? Is it are they trying a new system? Is there something different? I mean, what is it that's failing in Oklahoma?
It's called the schools are out of control.
Yeah, but that doesn't. All schools are out of control. What is it specifically that's dumbifying the people of Oklahoma?
A lot of your good teachers are being let go, and we have too many non-emergency or, emergency certifications happening. So we are not having true educators in the classroom. We are having people that have not had the pedagogy, that have not had the ability to be able to understand how to educate a child. So
this isn't a spending issue. Because there's been almost a 50% increase in spending, I believe, since 2010. Is that correct?
Yes, money does not make a child's education.
I am aware of that. But what are the so let's identify what is. I agree with you. You can spend all the money in the world, but it doesn't necessarily change things. Are you guys doing Common Core math? Is it phonics-based reading? What is it that's failing? Because if reading, like, let's look at the ratings: 47th in 4th grade reading, 48th in 8th grade reading, 44th in 4th grade math, 45th in 8th grade math. These numbers are old. This is from last year. Sounds like they've went down. So is this some sort of political grab? Do you see a stalwart in Oklahoma where the legislators aren't able to coincide a vision for what is needed? Is it phonics-based reading? What is it?
What it is we have too many emergency certified that are not. We have a good curriculum. We have Study Sync, which is a really good program. We have Envision Math. However, it is called, people that are trying to coach the teachers and are not looking at the baseline. If you have children coming in and cussing the teachers out, you have, on my PDP, one of the things that they wanted me to do is be judged by the students whether I was a good teacher or not.
Right.
If you give the prisoners...
Elizabeth, hold on a second. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm very, very sorry to interrupt. But if you have a situation where the gap in education is all the way from 2nd grade elementary education to introductory to high school level curriculum, K through 12 is demonstrating failure upon all lines, then that would mean that you have had a deficit of qualified teachers to fill the gaps. And that doesn't sound like something that isn't a decade. It sounds like a decade problem, or even a generational problem versus 1 or 2 years. The scores are continuing to go down. Okay, so what you're saying is the teachers are unqualified.
The teachers are, most of the teachers that they're keeping are not qualified.
Well, that's not really the problem. The problem is that they are not qualified to begin with, and then tenure kicks in, and then it's impossible to fire them because of the unions. Okay, so once again, this is all systemic. It systemically is attached to the union's failures that have failed this country, that are also hitting Oklahoma. And because per capita and the size of Oklahoma and its rural areas, and it doesn't have a Dallas, it doesn't have an El Paso, it doesn't have a San Antonio. I mean, yes, Enid is large and Tulsa is fairly large, but these aren't thriving metropolises.
No, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. We got some of these that we got good educators inside of them, but the unions are running them out. The unions are not representing or protecting the good teachers, and the good teachers are going where they can get higher pay, like Texas.
I think that's the problem. Like it's money. Because if you take a look where Oklahoma is as far as GDP and overall revenue, it's not a very profitable state. So it ranks low in just about everything. Crime around the cities are horribly regressive in that area. Education to begin with isn't necessarily a focal point for the jobs and the innovation inside Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma really is known for farmland. I mean, that's what it's known for.
We're farmers.
That's right. You're farmers. And considering that farmers and being involved in agriculture is let's just face it, ranchers will be gone in 20 years. There won't be ranchers. They just won't be. The job will be gone. And that goes for sheep, and that goes for chickens, and that goes for poultry, pork, and everything else. And then as far as corn and wheat and all of that, it's not a very lucrative and a very low margin yield anyway. So farming, although it is a massive industry, the problem is that it's a massive industry, and you can't compete, and these smaller farms can't compete. So you get the industrials to come in, they buy a large amount of farmland, they go ahead and do the same thing, and they cut under their crops and burn the things that are in overabundance and to drive the price down of wheat and everything else. And it just sucks. It's just the margins suck and the experience sucks and the yield sucks. So of course Oklahoma is going to be hurting. So what's the answer? How does Oklahoma innovate enough to find a way to claw its way out of this unbelievable hole that it's in?
First of all, what we need is true educators. We need ones that do not care about the mighty dollar.
Yeah, you're not going to find
And we need ones that get in there and educate the students. Don't run them out. If a student misbehaves during observation, look at what's going on. Is it a special needs classroom? We need to have our expectations higher. We need to be able to know that whenever we step into that classroom, the student is not in control. It is the teacher that's controlled. We need to support our teachers.
Do you live in a liberal county?
No, I don't.
So it's predominantly conservative, but are these people rhinos or are they actually true conservatives?
Rhinos.
Yeah, because the interesting thing would be that if the school systems are failing, most people in the rural community would pull them from the school system and educate them at home.
Mm-hmm.
And is there some sort of punishment for that? Has Oklahoma considered subsidizing families and maybe reducing taxes and trying to help stimulate more families educate as a communal opportunity? Because I know that's something that we talked about here in our community, which is to group up together and help teach our kids during COVID. And it's really only available in small communities. You can't necessarily do this in apartment buildings where everybody's getting by paycheck to paycheck. You have to have some stabilization in the community.
Yeah, that is what Walters is pushing for, and everybody is fighting him.
Fighting for what? Home education?
Fighting again. Yeah, everybody is fighting Walters. He is trying to put the power within the family's hands so that they can choose where they want to educate their children. And he also has his hands tied by the unions.
Okay, so you're saying Walters wants to move forward with home education?
Yes.
And are you in favor of that?
I am in favor of whatever's going to be the best education for our children. If they are misbehaving in class, get them out of there, put them where they're going to be educated so that we can educate the rest of the children.
It's interesting. First Tribes of England's back. Go figure that I would say black and you would say white. The BS that comes out of your mouth, my nephew has a master's degree, so it sounds like your nephew's educated and you're dumb as fuck. But that's neither here nor there, because if you had a master's or you had any type of law or economics degree, you would have went ahead and said so, because giving me your resume, obviously, you want my approval. You're seeking it. We are farmers. Okay, now you're a farmer. Teach your kids respect at home first. I think that's what I just said, but thank you. First Tribes of I'm not even going to try. Dude, the last time you came on was a complete mess. You're not going to hijack the show. So, but it's nice to know that you have a law degree in farming. So thanks. Elizabeth, I don't know what to tell you. Oklahoma seems to be going the way of Wyoming. And the only thing Wyoming truly exports is sulfur and some rare minerals. And it finds itself in a similar situation. West Virginia is in the same boat as far as education, cost of living. They don't innovate anything. They really don't create anything. And tourism, unfortunately, is only good for about 2.5 months out of the year. And then it's like literally going to Satan's butthole. So I don't know what to tell you about Oklahoma. You get last word, though, Elizabeth. You got a minute.
Well, I do have one other thing before I continue, but
Sure.
Olivia already knows about it. On Labor Day weekend, I'm sorry for plugging this in, but the Cherokee Nation holiday takes place, and I ended up having 2 of my pieces put into the Cherokee holiday.
Oh, congratulations.
They got accepted.
So
Thank you.
So the Turkey holiday, I'm assuming this would be something in November. I've never heard of it.
The Cherokee holiday.
Oh, I thought you said turkey. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I seriously swore to God you said turkey. I'm like, is this like a proactive investment into November? Sorry, Cherokee. Okay, so were the pieces, what were they, Southwestern Deco? What were the pieces specifically?
I painted. I'm a painter, and I painted some pieces that resembled. One was the Children's Dreamland, which was about the animals, which was about bugs and stuff, being able to get out their environment and be able to see the animals. And I made earrings to go on the painting. And the other piece.
What type of earrings?
I had like zebras.
Oh.
I had.
Do you have pictures of this, Liv?
I don't. She just sent me she just messaged me and told me that her pieces.
I'll send some pictures.
Please send some pictures. I'd like to see them. That's great. Okay. All right.
Okay. And the other one was about a child's depression, where they have large punctures and wounds, and they come in different colors. And then you have the veins running through it. It's an abstract piece. So I will send a piece like that, and I'll show you that one as well.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck, Elizabeth, in finding something that is suitable for your passions. And it's hard. You will survive and you will prevail, and appreciate you very, very much.
I appreciate you guys too, and thank you very much for everything you do.
All right,
Elizabeth.
We love you very, very much. You're the best. A good friend of the show, Elizabeth is, and has expressed many times how poorly Oklahoma is doing. Liv, you can call that one out.
Thomas Griffiths, call-ins, 100% trains are cool. $20. Thank you.
That was fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good dude. Bornicion, First Tribes of England. is here.
Our special friend from YouTube.
Yeah, so he wanted to talk a little bit about tourism. $36 billion down to tourism says a lot. Not to the United States. $36 billion is really nothing. In fact, that's kind of what we've just thrown at the English to stay the fuck out of our country. But you can pretend that $36 billion. I mean, it's a lot to the English, I'm sure. United States, approximately 79.3 million international visitors in 2024. That's great. The UK is forecast to receive around 41.2 million. That's down 47%. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I mean, since you're going to go ahead and point out our $36 billion, why is half of the people visiting England? Do you think it could be that the United Kingdom is no longer full of Brits, but Muslims? Your country's been invaded, love. You've probably got about 20 years before you're completely buggered. So, you guys don't have any guns. So what are you going to do when they come after you? Should be interesting. You're going to make a Sharia law a nuclear power. Congratulations. We appreciate it, England. We'll probably have to come and save your fucking ass again since we've already done it 3 times.
PG.
International visitors spent roughly $169 billion so far in 2025, down from a peak of $181 billion. So your numbers are off, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Go ahead and round up and 10, and that's 11. That's $12 billion down from 2024. So not
and
36
it's only
billion.
July of 2025, and 181 was all of 2024.
So it's almost like you're full of shit. Aye, bloka? Just wondering. Not sure. I'm going to go into Australian because they're a land of criminals. You put them all on there. Threw them off. International visitors, that's in July. So the U.S. is actually booming on its tourism. So we're not down 36 billion. We're actually going to surpass it. We're only halfway through the year. So maybe that's what you're talking about, year over year. But see, that's why we annualize and we have 4 quarters in the year. Work with me here. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You guys have holidays there. Or is it just always perpetual fucking rain is your season? About 5.1 million Americans visited the UK in 2023, spending 6.3 billion, 7.5 billion. Wow. Almost 20% of your overall revenue comes from America, and yet you talk shit. Meanwhile, roughly 4.5 million Britons traveled to the U.S. with a combined spending of 14 billion.
He is in Australia.
No, you're a fucko anyway. You want to talk about Australia too? That's okay, we can do that. I mean, if you really, do you really want to go ahead and replace these numbers with Australia?
Guns, Buffhead on the farm.
You got guns, yeah, you do.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. So let's just continue with your thoughts about England. Then we can go ahead and do. Let's see. U.S. tourist arrivals peaked in August, $7.5 million, with seasonal variation across the year. Okay, so let's do Australia. This should be fun. I don't even have to look. Have you guys killed any Aborigines yet? I'm just wondering. You guys still doing that? No? Okay. Did you want to go ahead and talk about us, how we shoot unarmed black people, but can we talk about your atrocities to the Aboriginals? No? Don't think so. Year-end spending, 7.7 million international visits, nearly a full to pre-pandemic levels, about 90%. Congratulations, Australia. That's huge. Spend in Australia reached about 52.6 billion. Up 12% year over year, 19% above March 2019 levels. Sounds like tourism is coming back up. Good. International total tourism economic projected hit $314 billion in 2025, including $39 billion in inbound spending and $173 billion in domestic travel from the U.S. That's a lot. So basically what you're saying is that 70% of your overall tourism is based on the United States. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. United States, once again, 60.6 million international travels, with spending around $213 billion, 28.7% increase over 2023. So we're kicking, no, Elizabeth, no. We are kicking your ass. But international spending is forecast to decline 7% in 2025 to $169 billion, losing a total of $2.5 billion. Wow, whatever will we do? Aggregate tourism economy projected to lose up to $29 billion and threaten millions of jobs if the decline persists over the next 10 years. I think we can handle it.
He thinks that you've been stirred. He's like, I've been on here twice and stirred you each time.
No, you don't understand. You're my job. I don't think you get it. is the trolls are what I do. And tonight is an interaction with the followers of the show. And you're a follower of the show. We love you. I just don't know why you don't call in. Is it you can't afford it? Or do you guys have cell phones in Australia? Or do you guys just whistle into a didgeridoo or go tie a note to a kangaroo? Which one? Why don't you call in, mate? But it's a good time over there. It's early enough in the morning.
How many hours are they ahead of us?
24. It's the next day. No, they're I don't know what they're at. Plus 18, plus 30. I don't know. Look it up. Find out. Let me know.
Find out.
Yeah. So no, I'm not stirred, dude. I just love handling you guys, and you're so easy. Oh, Yanks. Yeah. But you know what's cool is I loved those COVID farms that you guys set up to put your people into camps. That was fantastic. I also love that you guys have absolutely nothing on the world stage. You've done nothing. You have us fight your wars too. I mean, because you go ahead and talk about the Japanese. Now we kept them out of Australia. We kept the Germans out of Australia. But you're just like the fucking English. You don't have a spine. You don't have a backbone. Your people can't fight for themselves. So essentially what you do is you stay on the coast and you force the black man in Australia into the center. Is there do you guys understand why that all your women, when we would go into port, would literally fuck every black guy on our ship? Why is it that Australian white women love the Black Hawk? I'm just wondering. I think you probably know the answer to that.
All right. Depends. Perth is 8:04. They're 12 hours ahead. Brisbane, it is 10:04. So they're 12 hours or 14 hours ahead. So it depends on where you're at.
So Bernicion, First Tribes of England, says, I hate every CUNT word from every country, so don't worry, you're my playtime. Well, your playtime's over, buddy, because you got fucking spanked. You threw out numbers that you have no idea about. You went ahead and pretended that you're from England the last time we talked, and I spanked you with that. And Australia's just too fucking easy. So your playtime's over. You got rocked. And let's hopefully you're not speaking Chinese in the next 10 years. Benicio's gone. John Haggart says, in Albany, New York, only 30% of the students... Oh, that's too much, John. I'm not going to read all that. It's way too much. We need the Australian accent. No, I've already done it. The funny thing is I've been to Brisbane, Perth, Sydney. I love Australia. But it is true about all the black guys on the ship always pulled the most ass. We never understood why. See, because when you pull into port to Perth and Brisbane, and there's a wall, and on that wall there's literally pictures of just white. I mean, it looks like the Aryan nation. It's blonde, blue-eyed Australian girls, and their parents' address and phone numbers, and it's on all. I mean, we're talking all the way down the dock. And when you get off this, because they want you to marry an American sailor. Because it's shit in Australia. There's nothing in Australia. Tourism, and that's it. That's all Australia does. So you would go to their house, and you would have dinner with the family. And I shit you not, this is 100% true. And the daughter would knock on the door, and she'd be like Olivia Newton-John, and she would be all, it was like 1960. And the parents would try to pawn her off on you and take her out, go have fun, have a good time. And wow. you would. And of course, you're not going to be an idiot, but this is what happened. And they would try to pawn them off on sailors because the Australian men were such cucks and they were worthless. And they had no careers. They had no forward advancement. They didn't do anything. They didn't innovate anything. They literally try to pawn you off on American sailors. And every time, all the black guys on the ship would get the nod, and we would get second fiddle. And a lot of those guys were with us in our berthing unit, so we would start hanging out with the black guys. Not that we were hanging out with them anyway, but it was like everyone wanted a black friend when we were in Australia, because if you do, you get to hook up with a neighbor who's hot, and it was a shoo-in.
Did you ever hook up with any hottie Australian chicks? No,
I was engaged, and I was loyal, fiercely loyal, and always a good man, which was just insane that I was a sailor and I was loyal to that biznatch. But I was always loyal to her. I never cheated on her, not once. And it's not like I didn't have the opportunity. Are you kidding me? I mean, I was in I mean, and I was rocking Abercrombie and Fitch and Polo. I mean, I look good. I was wearing Jacquard Noir, and I had it going on. I had a tan. I was always on the deck. I was always swimming. You saw me in the military. I was a good-looking guy. Yep. But it was always, it's not a racial thing. I'm just telling you, Australian women love black people. Very much so. Maybe that's why they kill all the Aborigines. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying. I always love when a foreign country calls and they give off small peen energy. Any other calls? Or are we done, Liv?
I don't know. We just got a donation, though.
Can't hear you.
We just got a donation.
Donation?
Sandra Edwards. Thank you for being patient. Love the show tonight. It said it twice, so that's all.
What? Okay. All right. So if we're going to call in, call in. If not, then I want to show the first 30 minutes of the T.S. Dixon. Do you guys want to see the T.S. Dixon interview, or should we just do the news? Listen, I need a spam vote. I need it fast, and I need it now. Everybody spam.
Either say Dixon or news.
Dixon and news. And Bernicio, the First Tribes of England. When we say Dixon, it's not what you think about, bud. Okay? That's not what we're talking about. So keep it clean. Gail Deese retiring to Oklahoma, but looking rural, going home to my daddy's state. My son lives in Oklahoma, has an autistic son. He's doing amazing, but they live in a smaller town, but they just spent $100,000 on Bibles because religion is going to be a mandatory class. That's interesting. I haven't heard about that. News. Okay.
News.
Okay. I'll tell you what, you guys better make the T.S. Dixon interview a big one, because I'm telling you, it's good. Oh my God. Nobody wants to.
I think everyone wants to see the entire T.S. Dixon
I just said I'll
interview.
play the entire thing.
Yeah, but it's
No.
already 8 o'clock.
I think
so.
oh, how convenient. I think you sabotaged.
I didn't sabotage.
I think you have slowly turned your screws to get what you. Are we doing yogurt tonight?
I don't know. Are we?
What is this, Harvard? You get to ask a question with a question?
Yeah.
I guess we're not.
We can. That's totally cool.
Okay, well, John Haggert's in here, so if I don't start this now, he's gonna blow a freaking conniption gasket. So I'm gonna do this now, so he doesn't go. Who cares? What is this news? What are we doing? Candace Owens has officially lost the plot. You guys know that she's being sued. Matt, what was the compromise you were going to make with us? I don't remember. I was going to show 30 minutes. Nobody wants to watch the Dixon interview right now, so I'm just not going to put it on. That was going to be it. I'm going to finish it. I'll put it on over the weekend. But you guys got to do me a favor. You got to watch it. It's fantastic. I'm just like, oh, I feel completely uninspired that you guys want to watch it, but it's okay. No guilt trip or anything. So anyway, Candace Owens is getting sued by the Macrons, which they're idiots. I think she's like. Wasn't she like 48 when she met him in high school?
Who?
Macron.
I don't even know who they are.
French leaders, a prime minister. Look it up and get their info. When did they meet? Just type in, when did the Macrons meet? What age? Gary says, no, religion is not going to be a mandatory class in Oklahoma. It will simply be a Bible on the shelf like 1975. That's the way it should be. I think every library should have a Bible in it. I think every library should have every form of information you can that's acceptable by law. And, I don't want the anarchist cookbook on there. I don't think I want the Necronomicon on there. Otherwise, I'm pretty good with it. I don't want sexual exploitation of kids in there. But if it's part of the curricula, and a library is a place to seek knowledge. Yeah, she was 44 and he was 14. She was his teacher. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
So this is Macron, the prime minister and president. I don't know what the fuck they have in France.
Yeah, I can't even.
It was a feudal system from, they've had so many revolutions. I don't even know what the hell's going on over there. So yeah, 14 years old. No, she wasn't 30. I thought she was in her 40s, 44, and he was like 14 when they met, 15 when they met, and she's the sugar mama now. She has 3 adult children with her first husband. So this is what, so yeah, he was a minor, but I don't know if they hooked up as minors. I don't know any of that. I'm not even going to even talk about that. I don't even care. What I care about is Candace Owens swears. Candace Owens has an 11-part series of why he is a man.
An 11-part series. She spent
11 parts. Yeah.
She must be struggling to find.
Well, but here's the thing. When you are going to be threatened for being sued for libel and slander, What do? Well,
You just go for full force and do more.
You double down. Here's Candace. Mind you, the Macron attorneys and family sent a cease and desist to her. They sent her lineage and documents, birth certificates, photos when she was younger, medical record. I mean, they sent her and she just ignored it. Candace is now saying, let me send one of my doctors to you to perform a blood test. Candace is literally like, this chick is they're going to find her, I'm just letting you know, in the bathtub on massive amounts of ketamine or something else. And she's going to go the route of Whitney Houston. She is spiraling. I mean, it is like,
yeah, sad.
Ground control to Major Tom. She's out there, dude.
Yeah.
Listen
really
to this.
inspiring.
Watch this, Liv.
You were born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood, figure it out real quick, however you want to go about this. Hey, how about just giving us some pictures again of you growing up, raising your children? That would be fine. For whatever reason, to phone, by the way, like I said, we'll get to the bottom of it, right? That is what Discovery is for. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. You're probably hoping, this will go away and at least we'll say we sued her. We'll say we went after her. She'll probably file for this to get dismissed. I'd like to make it to Discovery. I think that we owe that to the world. Anyways, you guys, we are revolting against this. We're revolting against the perverts that run the world. And I want to be very clear here. I count you among them. I think you're sick. I think you're disgusting. And I am fully prepared to take on this battle on behalf of the entire world. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. On behalf of the entire world, I will see you in court. You were born.
Why does she even care about this? What is the point?
It's not okay. She's right. We are run by global elites who have several focuses. TS and I talked about this. We understand that we're run by a centralized World Bank. We know that there is an effort to corrupt and distort Western civilization and values through Christianity as our focus. And then focusing on those fundamentals and those Greek philosophies that ultimately created our form of government, our constitution, and everything else. We are the last bastion of freedom in the world. And there are several countries who follow suit with us on this. Used to be England, but no. It's funny, Australia used to be a very big supporter of the United States until they were taken over by the World Economic Forum and the global elites. And you're seeing this. The EU and Europe are pushing back. We saw this with Brexit. We saw this in several countries around the world where people are pushing back. We thought it may have happened in Canada, but then Canada, unfortunately, succumbed to the blue counties and the blue states and the blue provinces that ultimately took them into the arms of another leftist. But I digress. The point is, if all that's true, that's fine. But what is she talking about? Even if she's right, let's say she's right, Liv.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that woman has a penis.
Okay.
What is that going to do to change anything? Because it's the same people that think Michelle Obama has a dick.
Exactly.
And even if Michelle Obama has a dick, do you think that is going to drive the left from being so obnoxiously embarrassed that they're going to apologize? They will celebrate it. They will use it as a bastion and a marker of freedom that these two men had to hide because of the hatred and loathing and just the sheer despotism that comes from religion that castigated them into the shadows. They'll use it as a fucking recruiting tool. They'll make children's books out of this woman having a dick from France. Michelle Obama and Macron coloring book will come out and they'll put it in the library. This isn't going to stop anything. I don't know what Candace Owens is doing, Libby, but I can't quite understand it. What are you doing?
I'm looking up her husband.
Macron's the one that gets into the shake off with Trump, and he's like, can't give him his hand. I can do it faster than you.
Yeah. Somebody just said he's part of British royalty or has some British royal blood in him. If that's the case, then freaking, well.
So, what's his first name? I can't remember.
George Farmer is his name.
Yeah. I just like, I want to watch the Candace 11-part series just so I can laugh. All right. So starting in 2021, fringe bloggers, conservative influencers, Candace Owens have alleged that Brigitte Macron was born male, originally named John Michael Trenno. John Michael Trenno. And assumed her sister's identity after transition. I'm sorry, love. I know you're my sister, but I must kill you and take your identity. Fuck, people are stupid. Owens expanded the theory to link the Macrons to alleged CIA mind control experiments, suggesting Emmanuel Macron was a product of such program. These claims are also included in unfounded incest rumors, all with zero credible evidence. The conspiracy gained traction through social platforms and a podcast series titled Becoming Bridget, which has racked up to 2.3 million views. Listen to me. 2.3 million views. I've got 126 on. Am I really that fucking bad? Like seriously, let's just have a conversation. Does Olivia need to flash some titty? What needs to take place where we can stop hitting the algorithm? You're talking about some foreign leader's wife's dick, and we are giving accurate information. We're never lying. We're never distorting the truth. We're always being honest with you. And Facebook literally has like 70 people on it right now. But Candace Owens talks about some transgender dick, and she gets completely allegedly. He gets 2.3 million views. Okay, whatever, fine. Comparison is the destroyer of innovation and success. Comparison is the destroyer of innovation and success. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Who said that?
You're handsome enough. I said it.
Oh.
But it's a revision of somebody else saying it. But I just made it better. Looking at my mirror. You're handsome enough. You're smart enough.
Gosh,
you're good enough.
People love me.
And people love me. Okay. Feel much better. In July, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron filed a 218-page defamation lawsuit in Delaware seeking punitive damages in a jury trial. They accuse Owens of using these false stories for profit notoriety after her repeated retraction requests. The couple had already won a case in France in 2022 against bloggers who spread similar rumors, but that verdict was overturned on appeal. They plan to take the matter to France's highest court of cassation. These false statements were not blah, blah, blah. George Farmer is a British businessman married to Candace Owens. Since 2019, he once served as CEO of Parler and chaired Turning Point UK. Farmer hails from a political prominent family. His father, Lord Michael Farmer, he sounds like a fag, is a member of the UK House of Lords. House of Lords. I wonder if they wear powdered wigs and gallivant on their ponies. God, I hate the English. Australians are right behind them. I mean, seriously. Farmer hails from a politically prominent family. Together, they have 4 children, and Farmer emphasizes traditional family values. Yeah, this is. Experts say this is a part of a larger pattern of gender-focused conspiracy theories leveled against powerful women. Examples include Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, and Queen Camilla. Such theories often emerge from transphobic and politically motivated corners. PolitiFact confirms Owens' claims are baseless as part of a rising online trend that leverages sensationalism to build attendance. Who cares? I have zero fucks to give. Erica. Okay, look up Erica's comments.
I already did.
Well, hold on. I'm going. All right, here it is. Eric's a tranny. Okay. Trump's. Okay. First, I got to see this picture. I need to get my Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me see. That's a man, baby. Oh, God. I'm pretty sure it's a guy.
It sure looks like it.
If it's not a guy, you have a if a movie ever needs like Tootsie 2 or Mrs. Doubtfire 2, you're there. You're set. Trump's a diddler and he knows it. All of a sudden it's a hoax. Not the list is long and Trump is on more than anybody. That's a fact. What fact? I thought you want the list released. If you know what's on the list and you know he's on it more than anyone else, and that means the list is out. So where's the list? Show me the list, Erica. Is the list in the room with you right now?
Somebody already said that.
Here's another one. Trump's a diddler. Oh, he's on the list more than... You just repeated it. So let me get this straight. Either two things happened. One is that you wrote that and you knew you wrote it and you decided to write it again because you didn't like it, but you couldn't edit it. Or number two, you didn't know...
Or you didn't respond quick enough.
Right. Trump's a diddler. He's on the fake... Anybody, that's a fact. But wait, it's a hoax. Oh, yeah, right. Well, he didn't say the Epstein case is a hoax. That's not what he said. If you go back to the beginning of this whole process, what he said is that the push around Epstein is a hoax. That this list that does not exist. Now, what you think in your shallow mind is that there's some sort of piece of paper with everybody's name on it. Like some sort of Al Capone ledger with a secret crib key. That's not what's happening. The files that were originally released by the DOJ were already released in 2017, 2019, and 2020 under Freedom of Information Act. 2024 has files that are supposed to expire because of Ghislaine Maxwell. It's not Ghislaine, I found out. It's Ghislaine. I don't really give a shit. Pedo, crazy toucher chick in 2024 had her appeals, but there's also cases and investigations currently ongoing under fraudulent claims that were done under the case, under a grand jury indictment. There's appeal cases. So there's plenty of things happening. These files that people want so desperately, which are to find out the names of the victims, are under grand jury seal by a judge. So Trump already did that. And if you knew anything about anything, yesterday, they went ahead and denied that. Now, we all knew that they were going to deny that request. So what's going to happen is two things. One is that these appeal trials are going to have to end. The investigation is going to have to end. And then when it does, the Freedom of Information Act will kick in, go America, and a FOIA request will be made. And then we'll get this, probably Project Veritas or Judicial Watch or somebody else will do it, and we'll get the information and we'll get all the files. Now, the thing you don't understand is that you guys haven't been watching this for 10 years. You've been going through elective transgender surgeries and taking, steroids and fucking estrogen or whatever the fuck you're taking and shaving your lip incessantly because you just want it to go away. Psychosis, by the way. You haven't been paying attention. You've been trying to groom children and read them stories at school time and put rainbow books into their school libraries and sell shirts at Target. But the rest of us have been trying to stop you crazy fuckers from doing that. And that's what Republicans have been doing. Now, let's make something perfectly clear. If Donald J. Trump or anyone else that you consider on my side, even though you haven't clarified what my side is, you haven't asked what my side is, you have no idea what my geopolitics are or my political ideology or my economic stance is or my religion or how big my penis is, and I'm pretty sure it's bigger than yours. That's why you want to get rid of yours. The thing that you need to understand, more than anything, is that if Donald Trump, in any way, shape, or form, and it is proven in the court of law, or there's exculpatory evidence that condemns him with my own eyes, that he harmed children or paid for sex with anyone underage, you should put him under the jail. Liv, thoughts? Do you agree, disagree? Donald Trump touched any kids?
Yeah, he needs to go.
That's it. Go.
I don't care who you are. You touch kids, go.
You're gone.
Go.
But the problem is that y'all, particularly, let me be specific, liberals, leftists, the media, people with psychosis who need SSRI and a lot of counseling, believe that this is the gotcha because the media told you so. Now, remember, you went completely off of little babies being murdered in Gaza. You jumped off that. You went off of World War III. You went off of Iran. You went after that Ukraine was the freedom and democracy and Russia was going to take it over and World War III is going to happen there. You also said China was going to invade Taiwan. You told us COVID was a global killer and going to destroy us, and then we had to go ahead and stay in place. And wear 15 fucking masks and wear plexiglass. And when we walked across the restaurant, it was fine. But once we sat down, we had to put a mask on while we eat in between bites. You told us the vaccine was go ahead and safe. So did Trump, by the way, which I've hold him accountable for. You told us the sky is falling. You told us that global warming is going to kill us all. You told us that the polar ice caps are wrong, that we need to go ahead and give money to Al Gore and he would have reduced our carbon footprint. You guys told us murder hornets were going to kill us all. You guys told us that monkeypox was going to come through here, and luckily it didn't because we weren't having sex with dogs. Some of you did. Maybe it was you. But all these things that you told us were going to happen, Russian collusion, the P-tapes, the dirty dossier, the FISA warrants, the wiretaps, all of that. Hold on. No. God, fucking Mel, your timing sucks. I love you, but I'm on a rant. You do not come into the kitchen when the chef is cooking, Mel. You can call back whenever you want. Please don't be mad at me. So all of these things that you guys have been saying since 2015, we got them now. We got them. This is it. This is the evidence. This is it. The coup de grace. We've got the Rosetta Stone. It's all bullshit. You'll never get him. And the reason why you won't get him is because you can't just run against him. You can't take the serious flaws he already has in place, and let's be honest, the guy can be a sanctimonious dick. And it's stop calling me. Can be a sanctimonious tool belt. But you don't have any policies. You don't know what you stand for. When Trump goes, what are you going to do with your life?
You're not going to have one.
You're not going to have a pecker or Trump. What are you going to do? Well, you can't sit around and play with your pud. So what are you going to do? You better have a very large stock of D batteries or a dog and some peanut butter. 2015, we got him now. 16, we got him now. 17, we got him now. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You're never going to get him. And this whole thing that you're being lied to about Epstein, it's fine. And you're saying we're conned. You're projecting again. Just like you said quid pro quo, but it was fucking Biden who did that. You've got it on tape. He openly admitted and said, either fire the prosecutor, we're not giving you $1 billion. That is the quintessential version of quid pro quo on the national stage. Donald Trump had a phone call that wasn't recorded, wasn't transcribed, and was actually written per memory, and you impeached him for it. But you've got Joe Biden sitting there that Obama and him committed 100%, pay to play, and you did nothing. He did it on the phone call with Afghanistan. You actually have with the Afghani president where he told him, I'm going to pull air support and intelligence unless you prosecute this war exactly like this. And if you don't, your people are going to die. That's quid pro quo. Nothing happened. You've got Ashley writing stuff in her journal talking about her father taking showers with her, underage, and asked if she's being molested. This is in court documents. You don't care. You got document scandals on your mind, where in the entire inventory of all the FBI records, 17 out of 2,700 entries in their inventory report, we broke it here on the Dumb Show, by the way, we got it, had TSSCI classifications. 11 of them were folders with nothing in them. Did he take TSSCI stuff home? He sure did. You know who else did? Ask the sock drawer. Look up the sock drawer incident under Bill Clinton with the Clinton library. Take a look at Obama. Take a look at Biden, who had 6 different times saying that he gave up the documents. They were in Pennsylvania, in Rehoboth. They were in Delaware in his home. They were at his work that he worked at in a Chinese-supported school. And each time, did they send the FBI? Did they send raiders? Did they hit him in the middle of the night? No. They gave him a phone call, warned the lawyers 3 days ahead of time, and literally had donuts and coffee waiting for the FBI, as they only got a scintilla of the records that were in his garage next to a Corvette versus Donald Trump, who was completely covered by Secret Service in a padlocked room that they said was a bathroom that had absolutely no accessibility to it, because we know this because the records show it in January, where the FBI came and said, we don't really care about that. Put a padlock on the door, secure them, and we'll move on. But what they did was took inventory, brought it back home, went to NARA, who issued a warrant, and tried to subpoena for the records and say you have to return them. What was in those 2,500 inventory reports? Newspaper clippings, magazines, swag like golf balls, and umbrellas with a Donald Trump logo on them. But you didn't hear that. Why? Because you don't care. Now, I understand life's confusing. I understand you want to chop off your penis and be a woman, which will never happen because you're not. But there is a thing called reality, and I would recommend you really come back to it. Because you have been lied to, you have been completely brainwashed by your party. And the issue is this, is that you are so fucking detached from reality. Dude, ma'am, whatever you are. I don't want to assume your gender. He's your. You're so detached from reality. You don't believe that Donald Trump took 7 swing states, took the House, took the Senate, took the gubernatorial, took the mayoral races, won the popular vote, and you have no question in your mind that Biden was the best human being on the planet to run against Donald Trump, and you railed for him. And literally overnight, they did exactly what they've done to you. Lied, replaced him, subverted the democratic process of our country in 2016 when they took it away from Bernie Sanders and introduced delegates to the primary and gave it to Hillary Clinton. Then in 2020, when Pete Buttigieg and Sanders were winning, went ahead and pulled all funding for them to stop the mail-in ballot process in Philadelphia and in South Carolina and in the South so Biden could take the lead, and then reinstituted the mail-in ballot under COVID restrictions so their candidate could win. And they're going to do it again. And installed Kamala Harris. And you didn't even fucking blink. And her approval rating was 11%. She is one of the most hated women on the planet who has never, ever won a effing thing. She has been handed everything, and she's going to run for governor in California. They are going to do whatever they can to get her in place. And you people lapped it up. And instead of stopping and take a moment of reflection, having a moment of clarity, which alcoholics and drug addicts sometimes have, and say, I just think that maybe I could be wrong. Out of all the things that Matt just said, this Nazi orange blowjob artist who wants to have sex with Trump, even though I've got the most beautiful woman right next to me. And if Trump wants to join in, you can, sir. We just take cash, check, or charge.
Oh my God.
That if everything I just said, you've left, which you have, and I'm fully aware that you have. If you can't listen to one thing and go, if I'm wrong about one of those things, how many other things am I wrong about? Then you deserve your fate. Is he, she, they, their, them?
Don't
still
know.
No? Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I listened to Erica. There you go. You guys told me to go talk to Erica. You told me to go talk to Erica. Okay, Mel, now you can call.
Thanks, Jeff. It says flash some titties. That's on you. You
Jeff
said you'd
Honeycutt.
do it. $50. You said you'd do it. Let's do it. That's all you.
It's rock hard, buddy. It's rock hard. I'm just saying. No, that she didn't stay.
No.
Well, Erica, I read your comment, and I did my best.
Peace.
Mel, get on the phone. Call Mel. Do I have to call her? Is she going to really make me call her? She's all butthurt. Let me
Hang up on her twice.
I didn't hang up on her. I just didn't answer her phone. Fine, I'll call Mel. My God. Drama. This show's horrible. Can't believe we're doing this show. We could have been watching T.S. Dixon. Hello?
No, Matt, you
Mel,
just called.
Can't, Mel, you can't hear me?
You just called me.
Mel, Mel?
Don't listen to him.
I was in the middle of a rant of epic proportions, and you decided to call. I apologize. We're calling you back, ma'am. What can we do for you?
Well, no, I just wanted to amplify your rant a little bit
more.
more.
Give it to us. Give it to us. Tell me all about it. We're ready to listen. We're listening.
My question is, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, under what president? Wasn't that Obama?
Jeffrey, well, it depends. The first time or the second time?
The second time.
Second time.
Let's
First time it was
let's-
Obama. Second time it was under Donald J. Trump.
yeah, but it was the original whatever. So all these wonderful files and shit were already out there. My point is, the Dems had all these files for 4 years, and if there would have been anything in those files, I guarantee you they wouldn't have needed 4 FISA warrants. They wouldn't have needed any kind of entrapment with anything. They wouldn't have needed Carter Page or all the rest of that crap. They would have had him stone cold at that point. And because they don't have anything on him, that's why this is all bullshit. So the conversation needs to stop right at the very beginning, going, the Dems had it all. If there would have been anything in there, they would have done something with it without all the rest of the whatever, instead of continuing on, because the Russia was their next gambit, because there was nothing in the Epstein file.
Mel, can I ask you a question?
You can.
Okay. Can either of you name, and Olivia staring, I told you we should watch T.S. Dixon. I'm sorry tonight. Are you just reading, talking to people, Liv?
Yeah, I'm on chat.
Okay, good enough. Keep doing chat stuff. Mel?
Yeah.
Can you honestly, like with 100% clear mind, with no loyalty to Donald Trump, can you tell me an action that he has done in his 10 years in office that benefited another country over the U.S.? Can you just, I want you to take your time, and please don't just answer this off the cuff. Take a second. Can you think of a time that he has done something for a country that benefited them versus the U.S.?
Oh, shit.
Take your time. I want you to sit there and just let it marinate. And if anyone else can, please do.
I'm going to say, just whatever. I'm going to say North Korea.
Okay. Tell me what you mean.
When he reached out with all his whatever and went to the green zone and met with the little dictator.
the DMZ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And called off all kinds of. He did. He took off some sanctions, like whatever. He gave them
a man, and you will die a
bit
man.
of a foot up, saying,
Yep.
"Okay, you stop doing whatever. I'll take off some of the embargoes and whatever."
Okay.
And that's about the only one that
So good. That's a good one. That's a really good one. 18 months, Kim Jong-un didn't launch another missile over Japan or even in the Taiwanese Straits. So it completely stalled the reason they started the conversation. He invited them into the economic boom of the Southeast Asia. He took off restrictions off so they could get a taste of capitalism and get a taste of making money. And relatively has been quiet his entire presidency and even under Biden's. So I will say that benefited the United States. One is that South Korea literally didn't lose 3 million people over one of the largest artillery assaults ever in world history, because that's the one thing North Korea has, is a god amount of artillery. And it's all pointed at Seoul, right? So
we know that.
Okay, so that's a win. He gave the guy a chair and said, "I'm treat you fair," but he also told him, "I'll nuke you into next month.
I'll bomb you into oblivion."
Yeah.
But he did give he
did.
gave him whatever, and gave him a space to go. Okay,
Sure.
and Kim Jong took that space for quite a while.
But Mel, how did that not benefit America?
I think it did. Well, it did in whatever it took. It took the pressure off the military part of having to focus on the little rude dude over on the other side, like whatever, to focus on stuff that was a little bit more important, other than a psycho that was doing whatever.
Mel, it stopped a guy who was going to be a nuclear power and was testing intercontinental ballistic missiles over Japan. I think that benefits America, considering that our third largest naval fleet literally is right there.
And that's what I was leaning. Like, it's like he took all of that out of the
Yep.
playbook.
Yep.
Which, yeah.
Okay, so it benefited America, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now,
I think that,
what about Israel? People are saying Israel. They're saying Israel's the lapdog. So Israel, Netanyahu points, and we go woof woof. So
You know, the only thing I can think of would be putting, making the capital of Israel Jerusalem and putting the embassy there, because that really doesn't benefit America in any way.
Sure, it does.
benefits how?
Sure it does. Go ahead, Mel. You go ahead, and then I'll explain why it does. But you'll probably crush it. So go ahead, Mel. Why did Donald Trump make Jerusalem the capital of Israel, and why did he move the U.S. embassy?
Well, that was an ongoing thing, and that started several presidents before, because that would take down and put the de-escalation in to make it that it's not going to be a Muslim, but it was going to be a joint capital. Like, it was a joint thing. It was not just. I don't know how to explain. Like,
okay.
Yeah, my head's all over the. Whatever.
Listen, I don't even need to look for the answer. I'll just tell you the answer.
Yeah.
So, globalists wanted a two-state solution, which was to claim for Muhammad and Mecca, but also Jerusalem for Wailing Wall and the Second Coming, is holy ground for Muslims and Jews.
Yeah.
Jerusalem is the key to Israel's existence. And it was never identified on the national stage. And this was a point of contention for the Muslims. Muslims believed until this was recognized globally, it gave them an opportunity to continue and advance attacks on Israel and have them to be a mortal enemy until that holy land was reclaimed. Now, over the last 6 presidencies, and you've got to go back.
Yeah.
You've got to go back past Carter. You've got to go to Ford, who all promised in their campaigns that they would make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Obama did it. Everybody did it. Everybody promised when they wanted to win Florida. But once they won Florida and got the Jew vote, they never kept their promise. And Donald Trump made a campaign promise to the Jews in Florida and the Jews in the United States that he was going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. And they told him he had to make that claim. And he did.
To me, that was the DMZ for the whole scenario of the Middle East, was to make Jerusalem move the embassy there.
Yep.
Here we are. We're here.
Yeah, but hold on a second. But there's something more important here that I didn't get to finish. So yes, he kept his campaign promise, and Donald Trump keeps his campaign promise to the best of his ability. Did he stop the war in Ukraine on day one? No, but that was his goal. That's his egotism. That's his confidence. That's his swagger. That's what he's got. Has he kept every promise? No, but he still works on him. He hasn't given up. He's still working on Putin. He's still working on Ukraine. He's giving Zelensky the opportunity to strike offensively. So there are promises. Holy Vivo, block that person, please. The thing you need to understand is that this is a chess move. He recognized the independence of Israel, gave them Jerusalem, similar to what the French did in 1783 when they recognized our independence. France and England recognizing independence of the United States. Did the same thing to Jerusalem. And what that did is it gave them the ability to go to the Muslims and say, we need peace. I've moved the U.S. embassy. You will never attack Jerusalem. And if you do, you will attack the United States. It removed the Muslims' capability from continuing to drive into Israel and killing Jews. It eliminated it. It's just like what we did with Ukraine by wanting to get the mineral rights. And the reason why we want the mineral rights is because if they attack Ukraine in those areas where U.S. is at, it's a declaration of war against the United States.
100%.
This is why he did it. And what did the Muslims do a year and a half later? They signed the Abraham Accords.
Yeah.
Because they knew that they had no recourse. It was over. The Jews were recognized on a global stage, and the United States that day put a line in the sand and said, do it or else.
Yeah.
That benefits a few things. Now, you can sit here and now people say, well, what did we get for our $336 billion we gave the Jews? Well, what we got was one of the largest intelligence systems in the world. And, and for the low cost of $3.6 billion a year, something that would cost us about $60 billion a year to do, We get the intelligence that is set up from a human intelligence, electronic signals intelligence, and everything else that Israel has. They have agents inside Iran. They have agents in Yemen. They have agents in Egypt. They have agents in Russia. They have them in Libya. They have them in the Congo. They have the strongest and most infiltrated intelligence operation ever that the world has ever seen. And we get it for $3.6 billion. And if you think that we didn't have something to do with the pagers, and if you think that the B-2 bomber insertion didn't go off without a hitch because we have not been getting intel from Mossad, you have no idea how intel works.
Yeah.
Donald Trump can't be bought. Donald Trump can't be blackmailed. Nobody gets over on him. And this is the story. If they had Epstein information and they knew that he was morally compromised and he fucked kids, you would see nothing at all except him doing everything for everyone else and nothing for us, because they would have him by the balls. That
I know, but
is how I
they
know.
would have, and they would have had him in before the first term.
That's right.
They
Yeah, he
have
would
him
never
at
have
the
been
very
elected.
Mic drop. You're done. Just
Yeah.
anybody who wants to come on here and dispute that, bring it the fuck on.
Yeah, he never
And
would have been
that's-
elected if they would have had stuff before.
They would have got him in the Mueller investigation. The man has been investigated by every intelligence agency. He has been investigated by MI6, by Mossad, by SKW, SKK, Polish intelligence, the FIS, the fucking KGB / Politburo / RST. He has been investigated by everybody, because
Yeah, and
that's
they
what our
investigated-
job is. That's what Mel and I did. That's our
Yeah.
job, is to collect this shit on people, to check communications, back alley communications, look at bank deposits, look at who his contacts are. The guy's had more single scope background investigations than anyone on the fucking planet. If there was anything around Epstein, they would have got him already.
Yeah, he would have been done in his first term, within the first, before they even swore him in. Even if he did win the election,
That's right.
he
And
wouldn't
that's
have
right.
survived. Because
We,
it wouldn't have been Russia. It would have
yes.
been, here's the pedophiles, here's the
That's-
whatever,
that's
and it would have
right.
been impeachment. He would have been gone.
And
So
they got to do
that
everything
whole
else.
Epstein thing is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
that's-
There's embarrassing things in there, I guarantee. There's women in there who accused him. There were false claims all over it. And yeah, maybe him and Epstein went ahead and fucked women in New York together. Yes, that's possible. All of those things are possible. The man is an admitted adulteress. He's a divorcee. He admitted that he was wild. He said horrible shit. The man was a philanderer. I get all those things. I don't even doubt that he fingered E. Jean Carroll. In fact, I'm probably the only conservative to tell you that he probably did finger bang her in that dressing room. The problem is
And-
she did it willingly.
And she liked it. So,
She fucking
yeah,
liked it. Because rape is sexy.
exactly. Because
No,
yeah,
just don't.
And-
I just need
But-
a teeny bit.
that was my point. It was like it would have been done in the first term if they would have had a scintilla of any of this shit and this crap that now the
That's
MSN and the Dems are trying, whatever, is like, it's even worse than the Russia bullshit. Because yeah, if they would have had it,
Bottom.
like I said, the rest of it
What?
would have been irrelevant.
Debbie.
No, who's the purple person?
That's Debbie. Her name's Debbie Boggs.
Debbie Boggs says,
Yes.
"Thank you, Matt. I finally understand
I think
what."
it was right after we were talking about putting the capital Jerusalem.
See,
in the
people,
embassy.
you. This is why I want to show the T.S. Dixon interview. Listen, I'm not a football player. I'm not a special forces guy, although I'm a pretty damn good shot, and I can take care of myself. I'm not the greatest lover.
Well, Olivia might disagree, but that's
Look at this smile. Okay, well, okay, so I'm
Yeah.
top 3. I can lick my eyebrows. That goes a long way.
Oh my god.
So,
oh well, that's
so Mel's like, oh my. So, okay,
okay.
I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. I know another thing is that I'm pretty much good at everything. I'm just not great at anything.
Yeah, me too.
Except for one thing. I put the pieces together better than any other human being I've ever met. Who I've ever talked to. Hold on, let me just brag for a second. I don't do it. I don't do it often. I never do this self-gratification bullshit, but I'm going to do it. Because I've looked at the last 5 years and I've looked at what I've done. I've looked at what I've talked about. I've looked at what I've discussed. And I can absolutely say without a doubt that there is nobody who has got it right more often than not getting it wrong, but got it right more than anybody else. And I and you who have watched this show understand that. I am good at geopolitical understanding. I'm good at filling in the gaps, and I'm good at understanding how the long game's played. So when I sit here and tell you why Jerusalem had to take place, tell me you've heard that anywhere else. But I guarantee people are going, holy shit, that makes complete fucking sense. And the reason why it makes sense is because it's just factual. It's all the things that took place. And all you got to do is know from the beginning to the end of a controversy what took place to understand the why. And if you know what other presidents have done, and if you know the history of Israel, and you understand Donald Trump's reasoning and what he wanted to do, his legacy, he ran for office because of the Middle East. When Obama fucking chastised him at the state's dinner, he decided to run. And what was he doing? He was insulting him. He was insulting him and who he was. He was insulting him about the Iraq war. Donald Trump said the one thing, he didn't say, I'm going to bring prosperity to America. I'm going to rewrite the Constitution. I'm going to be the fifth I'm going to be the fifth person on Mount Rushmore. What he said was, in his head, is I'm going to bring peace to the Middle East, the largest natural cash flow of anywhere on earth. I'm going to bring stabilization, which will stabilize trade, stabilize energy, and stop the endless wars, and make the United States the bastion of the newfound hope. It is a dyslexic Columbus, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring America to the Middle East. And if we just get the fuck out of the way and let him do it, we can have it. Go ahead.
If people go back and do research and watch Donald's interviews with Oprah and back in the day in the 70s, 80s, whatever, he hasn't changed his mind or his thought processes on what he wants to see America to be. He hasn't changed at all. Like, he said it, he has said it for 30 years. He was a Dem at the time, like whatever, and that's why they all love him. Oh yeah, and he gave them money and whatever.
He wasn't a true Democrat. I mean, he was a Reagan Democrat. He was a blue collar Democrat.
Exactly, but he did sign or whatever and did vote whatever. Anyways, he hasn't changed his mind or his thought process because he has said it for a really long time.
Sure has.
And that's what people need to go back and see, that, like, and get rid of all the other crap, whatever, because everybody has their kiss cam moments and whatever, and get whatever.
Yeah,
but
he's not perfect, Mel. He makes mistakes, but what he is not. He's not. Go ahead, Mel. You finish up, and then I'll chime in. Go ahead.
He's not disingenuous. He has a belief. He follows through with it. His personal life or whatever has, and since Melania, it's calmed down. Well, of course, he's gotten older and whatever, like all of us do. We all settle down eventually and go, yeah, I remember the good old days, like we all do, going, I remember those foreign parts and what I did and didn't want to remember. And yeah, past is past. Like, yeah, we all make mistakes because we're all human, but his thought processes and his reasoning to what he wants to accomplish has never changed. He wants the best for America. He has he has seen the goal. He doesn't want war. He's never been a proponent of war. He wants peace through strength, but he's not going to sit back and let everybody walk over the states, which has happened over the last 20 plus years with the people that have been running the country, your country, for a while. Like, and yeah. Okay. So he's not a warmonger. He's a peacemaker, but he's not going to take shit. Like, you're going to hurt my country. I'm going to hurt you first. So, and I got bigger shit and I got a bigger button. So
just,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Every time a Democrat or a liberal says anything from now on, all you need to say is the following: what policy bothers you? And they won't know what to say. They'll say Epstein. They'll say Iran. They'll say Gaza. That's all they have. They don't have anything else. They'll say food prices and inflation. And you're just like, dude, have you even looked at any of the numbers? Have you even looked? I thought the economy was going to crash last month. I thought there was going to be another Black Friday. Don't you remember when they said that the entire economy was going to crash? They're like, look at the stock market. The stock market's it's losing. It lost 3,000. It's never going to recover. And then, like, literally, it's higher than ever. It's
higher, whatever. And I keep hearing, tariffs are they're horrible. And I'm like, and I'm laughing at this stupid country that I live in. And I'm like, really? I said, you're going to get fucking hammered. Can
I say this? I got to say this. And then I got to let you go because I got it. We got to shift gears. But
sorry.
No, stop it, Mel. You're loved and never apologize again. I love when you call in. If you called in every night, I would be happy. So stop apologizing, please.
Okay.
God, she fucking won't stop calling, Liv. So the thing that I this is what I want. I want Donald Trump to take the $100 billion that he got, and I want him to go to voter registry, and I want him to go to the Federal Election Commission, and I want him to get the addresses of every single person who voted for him. And I want him to write a check for $5,000 and send it to every, hold on, let me finish. Send it to every person who didn't vote for him, tax-free. Then I want him to create a website and say, if you did not vote for me, I'm absolutely fine with that. But what I want you to do is go to this website. I want you to put in your information so we can send you a check too. Because I can't go into any records that weren't actually voted for me through the RNC and the bylaws and the rules. But you're going to have to go on a website to get your $5,000 because I don't know. And I want to make sure I've got these people's information, but I can't go legally collect your information with voting records. And I can't give you that money, so you need to go and register on this website. This website will be open. You have 6 months to do it, and we want to give you that money because you earn it. I bet you a fucking $1 billion that I don't have that you will see 98% of the fucking people who voted for Biden and Kamala will go get that $5,000. I will. Betcha.
You betcha.
You betcha. In a fucking New York minute. And then what does Trump do? This is how Trump starts every press conference. Karen Levitt's up there, and he walks out and he goes, "Hi, everybody. Just a new day." And he has his binder, and he walks up and he goes, "All right, folks, just want to let you know it's been 24 hours, and so far 57% of the people who voted for Kamala have signed up for their $5,000. Thank you."
Yep.
The next day, "Hi, everybody. It's your second day update. We've moved to 63%. We're really excited. Looks like the way we're trending, by the end of the week, we'll be at 98% of Americans who voted for Kamala. And by the way, now that day 7, all right, we've reached 98%. I just want to let you folks know. The 2% we didn't get to, we're going to go ahead and send it out to you anyway. And the rest of Americans automatically per household, just because I'm a good guy. And tell them to eat a giant shit burger because these people are full of shit."
And they are. 1,000%. It's priceless. And it's priceless, but it's sad on another level too. But I'm like, that would be an awesome PR, whatever.
What do you think that's going to accomplish, though?
What's it going to accomplish is that he gets to sit here and say, if I'm a Nazi, if I'm a pedo, if I am literally the man who's going to destroy democracy, if I'm going to sink our country, if I'm going to start World War III, if you're a deplorable, gun-grabbing, Bible-thumping, idiotic flyover state, if you are literally orange man bad, who has small hands and can't drink water and literally can't walk and has deep vein thrombosis and has heart disease and is a sexual predator who got fingery with many women and goes into a beauty pageant and grabs them by the pussy. If I'm all those things, then why are you taking my blood money?
Why are you taking my money? You're hypocrites.
And then he says, and by the way, I just kept my word to you too. And I'm the only politician who does. I keep my word to my people. I promise. And I went above and beyond. I said I wasn't going to give it to people who didn't vote for me. We went ahead and did it anyway. But you know what? Of course he's not going to do that. Of course that's stupid. Of course that'll never happen. But it should happen. because we saw it during COVID. They lapped his money up. They took it from him. When he passed the 1.9 trillion, when he passed the 4.6, they took those dollars. They applied for the frickin' loan forgiveness. They applied for the PPP. They took it all and they all over their face.
Yep.
And then they still voted for fucking Biden.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And my final thing is this thing about where the money went from that fundraising for the Palisades fire.
Yeah.
And you look at the people that got the money because that concert couldn't distribute it itself.
Right.
That needs to be blown up astronomically, because the ones that they showed today, the half a dozen, like whatever, that's all fraud.
Can we just look at the $20 billion in gold that Biden set aside for agencies and put it in a lockbox like Al Gore? Can we look at that too?
Exactly.
I mean, listen, you guys got to watch the TS. You guys got to promise me one thing. You guys got to watch the T.S. Dixon interview, because it's 3 hours of this, but better.
And that's what we're all going to do, and we're waiting for it. That's why we didn't want it tonight, because we want to watch 3 hours all on our own time and digest it and watch it.
Okay.
And it was no affront to you doing it tonight.
I know.
It was like, no,
I know.
We all want to watch it.
Mel,
all 3 hours.
Mel,
and
do I really strike you as a person who's sensitive and really gets bent out of shape over just about anything?
Oh, you're totally sensitive. Oh my God.
Fuck you, Mel. Fuck you, Mel.
Love you guys.
I love you too, Mel. She's fucking awesome.
Oh, you just snorted.
I know, she's hilarious. She makes my day. I apologize for the language tonight. I'm a little fired up. I'm just tired of this stuff. Liv, call her out.
JD Stillwell, rant sauce funding $25.
Patriot, I'm not going to go read scripture. I don't read scripture on request, but you may notice that there's a little book back here that maybe you don't recognize. And Patriot, just give me the cliff notes. What's the verse? Why do I need to read it? Just tell me why. Pique my interest, please.
Tamar Bush, $10. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Tomorrow Bush is going to cost me $10.
Tamar Bush.
You need to stop saying it so fast. This is twice. It sounds like you said tomorrow Bush is $10, and I'm willing to pay it.
Normally
I think I've got
free for you.
I got a 20. I can.
I'll take the 20.
All right. No.
You can pay for Froyo.
No, Patriot JC. We're talking about somebody else. I'll pay for I'll pay for Froyo. Okay. So Epstein accuser Maria Farmer just dropped a truth bomb about Trump. Dude, these people are so ridiculous. Dude, Epstein's brother is coming out and going, Trump didn't turn him in. Jeffrey Epstein stopped talking to Trump because Trump's a crook. Dude, brothers are supposed to have a connection. You should follow suit of what your brother did. Just saying. The guy's a tool. What is that noise?
How close were they?
Listening to music or something, one of the children.
My God, it sounds like there's World War III going on. Here's the video. Liv, I need your woman's intuition to look at Hillary Clinton's daughter and tell me what you think.
How close were they as far as you were able to tell?
Well, like Epstein said, he inherited him in the divorce,
As
Patriot, I will read it, man. Please just do me a favor. Send me a quick email so I can remember, dude. I get too much. I get so much stuff, and I have to data dump. I want to read it. I care about. No, don't be sorry. I'm not saying you're trying to be rude, but I just don't. Religion is a very personal thing to me, and like, I know that's not what you're doing, but I don't like people to force feed me religion. I just don't. It's my own path. I'm on my own journey, and it's one that I'm just going to do in due course. You know what I mean? But I do want you to send it to me by email, matt@thedumbshow.com, and I will, out of respect for you, I will read it, but I'm just not a big fan of that. Okay. I don't want to be in a Bible study. I don't want to be in a prayer group. I don't want to go to church. I just want to be left alone with my God and the good book, and I'll find my way through that. I think he's given me everything I need to be successful. Does that make sense? Okay. So here we go.
As far as you were able to tell.
Well, like Epstein said, he inherited him in the divorce. You know, he said, basically, you're going to see us together all the time. We're fixtures because in the divorce, I inherited Trump and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. So he said, you're not going to see him at the house the way you see Ivana, and you're not going to see her at the offices the way you see Trump. And, you know, it was just, it was a known thing, like among the staff and everyone, that they were best friends. And Epstein bragged about it. And I gave up 30 years to report this. And it's a very serious thing to fight the government. You know, it's been unbelievable. I've been fighting 2 cancers because of it.
I got cancer because I went against Trump.
I'm so confused.
I know. Just wait.
What?
Wait, it gets worse.
Maria, when we reached out to the White House for a comment, they responded, and I'll just read for you what they said.
Okay.
Quote,
It's something like, bitch is crazy.
the president was never in Epstein's office. And in fact, the president kicked him out of his club for being a creep. They then say that Trump, they're clear there. They say he was never in Epstein's office, which, of course, from the original incident that you're talking about is where this occurred, according to your recollection, at the Helmsley building in New York.
He was absolutely in the office.
In quarter to your made up story. By the way, her tell is her smile. So that's her opportunity. She hasn't. Okay. Let me teach you something about pantomimes. When people feel dumb, they have a tell. Damn, my bicep looks huge in this. Okay, so I was looking at the delt. I'm just like, holy shit. Okay,
Oh
sorry.
my gosh.
Sorry.
Squirrel?
I'm just saying, it just looked, the shadows look. Okay, sorry, stop. So when people feel dumb, they have certain tells. Some people blush. When I laugh and it's a real laugh, I get red because I hold my breath, and I tighten up and I turn red. It's not because I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed. Like Olivia and I could jump on this table and the embarrassment level would be 0 because I would look at you guys and be like, so I don't have that, but I have other tells, but they're very few. And in fact, they're very difficult to read. I am really good at keeping my emotions in check under certain situations. Like the guy from Australia thought I was upset. All I care about is rating. All I care about is that people laugh and throw a like on the show when I'm tearing him apart. He can't say anything about it. He doesn't know me. I don't fucking know who he is. I don't know what he looks like. I don't care. He can say anything. I'm like, okay, so what? Your opinion means nothing to me. I will literally not think about you ever again.
I forgot he was on the show last time.
Yeah.
Until you said he strikes again. I was like, oh.
And remember, and this never used to be the way it was. It would take, I mean, there were the first 6 months to a year of this show. I could not take a hit. I was just like, Olivia, what's wrong? Why do people hate me? And now I just don't fucking care. My liberal kung fu is so strong, you can't even get a strike in. So these tells that people have. So the person at the beginning of the interview is the person she wants you to think she is. Stoic. So could you please stop the nail thing? I can literally hear it snap in my ear like a shotgun. So she wants you to believe she's stoic and she's cancer ridden and the dark circles. She put makeup on the rest of her face, but made sure her dark circles weren't covered. Check it, Liv. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, I'll have to look.
So put the eyeshadow above the eyelid, but didn't put any cover or put any foundation under the eyes. It's so contrived. But she wants you to think she's stoic. But once her validity and her honesty was questioned, you got to see one of her tells. So watch the transition, okay? Watch it carefully now. I'm going to teach you this. This is a wonderful technique. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Oh, come on. I hate you, Twitter. I'll never call you X.
So how close were they?
Stoic.
As far as you were able to tell?
Tight-lipped.
Well, like Epstein said, he inherited him in the divorce. You know, he said, basically, I'm.
It's a different smile. It's not a smile. She has a nervous laughter. She has a nervous facial tick. It's not a smile.
You're going to see us together all the time. We're fixtures because in the divorce, I inherited Trump and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. So
She's not going to the memory cortex of her brain.
Said, you're not going to see.
Watch her hand movements. Okay. Yeses are this. This is no. This is yes. This is no. This is yes. This is no. Her body language will tell you what she's saying doesn't match up to what her pantomimes are.
Him at the house the way you see Ivana, and you're not going to see her at the offices the way you see Trump.
Also holding her hands like this versus this. This is bringing you into a story. Come here. Come with me. I'm honest. I'm trustworthy. Come here. This is standoffish. This, pushing out. It's all the little things that tell you that she is being deflective and deceptive.
You know, it was just, it was a known thing, like among the staff.
See the head? Among the staff. Subconsciously, it's just like, she's just like ace, ace, ace. Okay, fold. I'm out. I'm all in. No, I'm not.
And everyone that they were best friends.
Best friends. No. That's the lie. She just gave me the lie. It's right there. Watch it again. Learn. Oh, you fucker. Whatever.
And Epstein bragged about it. And I gave up 30 years to report this. And it's a very serious thing to fight the government. You know, it's been unbelievable. I've been fighting 2 cancers.
It's been unbelievable. It's not been unbelievable.
Because of it.
That's true. See it? Who just saw it?
I saw her shake her head up and down.
I've been fighting 2 cancers. That is the only thing true about what she just said. She just finally told you the truth. I'm fighting 2 cancers because that's the truth.
You gave up 30 years of what?
No, that doesn't matter. I just showed you her tells.
Mm-hmm.
I just showed you she's lying out of her fucking teeth. And the only thing honest is about her 2 cancers.
Maria, when we reached out to the White House for...
Now watch her expression. Watch her eyes. Watch her mannerisms. Watch her body language. Watch what she does.
A comment. They responded, and I'll just read for you what they said.
There's the first nervous smile. Okay, here it comes. I've been dreading this. There's your smile. Completely different than what you've seen so far.
Okay.
Quote.
Okay. Crack in the voice. Where's that confidence we saw? Where's that stoic demeanor? Why are we showing emotion at this point?
The president was never in Epstein's office. And in fact, the president kicked him out of his club for being a creep. They then say that Trump, they're clear there. They say he was never in Epstein's office, which, of course, from the original incident that you're talking about is where this occurred, according to your recollection, at the Helmsley building in New York.
He was absolutely in the offices.
So what do you say when they give a response like this?
Role reversal, the emphatic head shake. Now, it's not a subconscious one. It is an absolute, clear, forced response. The inflection has increased in her voice. She's emphatically telling you and repeating herself over and over, and she cannot contain the creation of the lies that she's about to espouse because it's not comfortable for her.
Yes. I say that they're being disrespectful.
Say that they're being...
To the fact that I have given up my entire life for this case, just to have it investigated.
See the nose are back? How quick was that? So she went into the fake, moved into what you wanted to see. We saw a glimpse of reality. Then we saw what her motives were. And now she's back to the stoicness. Now she's back to the nose, subconsciously telling you everything I'm repeating is a lie.
And I'm really sorry for him that
she's not sorry.
He's caught, but
But no, I'm not. Everything I'm telling you is a lie. And she very well may have seen Trump and Epstein together in the office because that could have been her emphatic, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, but everything else I'm saying is a lie. So you've got cancer and you saw Epstein and Trump together, but everything else is a fucking lie.
I don't know what to say to that. He's lying.
He's lying.
I don't appreciate it. He was absolutely at the offices, and it was 9 o'clock at night.
It was 9 o'clock at night. No, it wasn't.
I thought it was inappropriate.
It's inappropriate to be at an office at 9 o'clock at night? Okay.
But also, they were best friends at the time. So what I say to that is, I don't think he's really responding to the fact. And what does he mean, the offices? He needs to be specific, because he was in the Helmsley Palace offices.
I have just given you a basic rundown that this woman is full of caca. Liv, what do you think? I mean, do you listen? Outside of all the bullshit, do you buy what she said?
No, absolutely not. What is this like? She's standing there.
Yeah, it's like lying. Well, she's trying to show her brain. This woman's lying.
I mean, one, if she is a victim, why? I mean, I didn't think, I don't know if I'd want to come out, but also being a victim, I didn't realize that they paraded the victims in the office. I thought they were at the mansion.
No, you didn't see that first video. You weren't on the show.
No.
She basically said, well, he went in the office and I was there and he walked by me and Epstein looked at me and said, oh, she's not for you. And then took him into an office. And I don't know if anyone was in there. And I don't know if there was another woman. But he took him into the office and it felt wrong and it was weird. That's her story.
That's awesome.
No doubt in my mind. Trump and Epstein probably were in the office together. Probably. Why not? He was real estate. He was real estate. They lived in Palm Beach. They were both there. They rubbed shoulders with the same people. And we know that they had a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I'll just leave it at that. Folks, $213.48. Holy shit. I was hoping for a huge night. We have a commercial. Olivia, you're not going to come back to this, are you? You're going to go. You've been here 2.5 hours. You need to go powder your nose or something.
I can go get Froyo.
We'll be right back.
Adjusting transmitter output.
Wrong button. Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations. But after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking... I can't do it. I can't untighten it.
That's what she said.
That's what she's... Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there.
I will.
Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old? Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than
Outside
you.
the room. See,
At everything.
it's better than
Hayden,
us.
he's just like, even... Hayden, close the door. Go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. And I'll go at 9:30.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm gonna owe them money without me.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh, yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Yes, we absolutely thank you guys so much for our donations. A little bit of a tough night tonight, which is people are probably enjoying the show so much that they just forgot to donate. But $213.48, and we would appreciate if you have a chance to help donate to the show. Without it, I'll have to start turning tricks again, and we all know how that went. If you're over on Rumble, you know what really bothers me is we got 40, 50, 60 people watching, and we have 11 likes.
I've never been able to get.
What's it going to take?
No matter.
What's it going to take the Rumble people just to like the show? Can you help us out?
It's like, all you got to do is hit the thumbs up.
I mean, seriously, maybe let's just stop
don't.
broadcasting to Rumble for a while. I mean, just, kind of say, and maybe we'll get some mojo going. But seriously, I mean, just it doesn't take much just to hit the like button. I mean, Facebook people too, and YouTube. Hit us the thumbs up, whatever. Just hit the thumbs up. That's all you got to do. Just touchy. I don't know. Maybe we should blackmail them. Just stop broadcasting. I'm not going to stop broadcasting Rumble, but Rumble's really hard to grow on, and without you, it's.
Chat.
But you got to share it. You got to help out.
That's the
not
thing.
you. They, them. Yeah. They are there to rumble, not like, I don't care, whatever. Just do it. Just do something. Sharing it's important. You got to do that too. Charlie Kirk hosted a session with teenagers to get them to admit they aren't anti-Semitic Jew haters. I don't quite understand. I haven't watched this. I have no idea what it is. We're going to go ahead and find it and show it to you, and you can tell me what you think. So Jeff, coming on late's no problem. Once this show's over, it takes about 20 minutes for it to process, and then it will be up for 30 days. So we will rerun the show, and you can watch the beginning, or you can rewind on some areas, but I don't think you can rewind while we're still live.
No, you can't. And thank you for the donation.
Thank you for the donation.
Yes.
So it'll be on once we shut this down, 20 minutes or so, and it'll be live, and that's pretty easy. And plus, I do the podcast too. So if you want to listen to it, you can go to the podcast, and that'll be posted tomorrow. I still got to post last night's show. I've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing the Oliphant. Circus act with this. I'm sorry, scratch Oliphant. I'm not having a stroke, I promise. I'm doing a circus act, and I don't know why I said Oliphant, with the T.S. Dixon interview. I make sure I'm not having a stroke. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Def Leppard, favorite band, favorite color is anything that is not pink. My wife's hot, and I'm getting yogurt. Doing okay?
You sound fine to me.
Sound like I was having a stroke right there. I just think I'm tired and I disassociated. But that's, folks, if you are older and that happens and you start mix and muddling by taking Oliphant's name and inserting into a saying and then looking daisical, it's
been a long week. We have been on like 2-3 weeks straight till past 10 o'clock every night, and then going to bed past midnight every night this week. It's probably why I'm not very peppy tonight. I'm tired.
I know, but we're gonna get that motor humming later. Get you up. They say they can't share on Rumble. You can share, can't you?
I just got the ability to repost like a month ago. So before I was not able to repost. I don't know how I got the ability, but I did. So if you can't, I don't understand. It was just there one day.
Okay. Anyway, just please hit the like button. Okay. So here is the video. And by the way, strokes are a very serious thing in my family, and killed my grandfather, killed my dad. I mean, his heart gave out, and my grandfather was heart too, but the strokes hit first. And so it's something we have to consider and think about. So please do me a favor. If you ever see that from me, don't be afraid to say something in chat. I don't think I'm pretty good shape. I take care of myself, but it's something to think about. So, and singing is good when you are in that position. So singing the ABCs or singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat, because it requires 2 quadrants of the brain to do so. Inflection and tonality plus memory of words, and hypthatic rhythm, I believe is what it's called. I'm not a doctor, but there's you use multiple quadrants in your brain when you're singing and reciting a song. So
Got it.
It's good to do. Patriot also says sing to wake you up. I could sing to wake Olivia up because she'll want to punch me when she's done. Okay, so here is the Charlie Kirk video, and watch this. Hypthatic? I'll look it up. Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Does that resonate with you?
Exactly.
You're not anti-Israel. You don't wish them harm.
Oh, come on. God, you just suck, Elon Musk. I mean, seriously, your platform is shit. I'm sorry. He really needs to make improvements. All right, here we go.
Does that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
You're not anti-Israel. You don't wish them harm. You're not, like cheering on Iran.
No, I support Israel. I think they're our ally. I want them.
But you would be called an anti-Semite by some people for saying this.
And I think that's ridiculous. I don't hate Jews because I think a nation should defend themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
I feel like it's becoming like the word racism. Like, we just disagree with them, so we just have to call them a name. I don't think they're actually anti-Semitic. I think people just can't agree with them and they can't prove them wrong. So they just throw a word out and be like, you're anti-Semitic because you think that we should stop sending our money there.
Something that I see amongst the people I'm around, I do see more like general disdain towards, just being honest, Jewish people.
That's correct.
Just because they're constantly being told that you hate Jews. And it's like, fine. If you're going to say I hate Jews over and over and over again, like, if I'm going to be convicted of the crime, I might as well do the crime. I fear the same thing happens with all the talk of race. The more we talk about it, the more we bring it up, the more racism actually happens.
This is like, I try to tell, thank you for saying this. Like, because like, I try to tell these people and they're like, we must get more aggressive. And so like, let me ask a question. If we were to remove, like if people said what Tucker said is anti-Semitic, I don't hold that view, but it's like a lot of people on Twitter are like calling us out and like, whatever. That's not going to happen. But if we were to cancel Tucker, would anti-Semitism increase or decrease?
I think increase, because that means any supporter of Tucker Carlson's statement therefore makes them anti-Semite.
Guilt and association, 100%.
Exactly.
But the binary that's presented is that if you don't passionately talk about it, you are a hater. That's probably destructive for everybody involved. So for me, I'm trying to find this new path, which is, I love Israel. I visited there. My wife and I had the best experiences ever. I saw where Jesus rose from the dead and he walked on water. But also, I'm an American and I represent a generation that can't afford anything and that we are like flooded with illegals and no one speaks English and our hospitals are clogged. I think we need to have the prudence to reject the Jew hate. Like, okay, we're not going to put up with that. That's dumb. But also, if you call everyone an anti-Semite, if they don't take a puritanical view of the Netanyahu government, then I think it's bad for everybody.
So would you guys all basically safe to say welcome us not talking about Israel nearly as much?
Yeah. Okay. Liv, do you have a, I think donations are at a standstill. Is that correct?
It seems like it.
Okay. So if you want to take off, go ahead.
Okay.
And we'll just, I can't believe I'm staying on later for this. It's been a long week. Love you. See ya.
Love you. Night, y'all. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Livy's out. Love you, sweetie. You don't have to go if you don't want to. Do you want to? Do you really want to go? I mean, you're exhausted. You've had a long week.
I'm tired.
Just stay here.
Froyo doesn't close till 10.
If you want to change it, change. No, don't be on the show. Just get out of here. Go relax. Go take a powder. Go
take a powder.
Go eat some bonbons. I don't know. Just get the hell off the show. Okay. Let me struggle in my own misery.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
All right. Love you guys. Night.
Night. All right. So here's what I want to say about Charlie Kirk. Charlie's smart. Charlie is very successful. Can you turn those TVs off? Very, very successful. Generally seems like a fairly nice guy, but he's also a multimillionaire.
Love you.
Love you, baby. He's a multimillionaire. So it's kind of hard for him to discuss current state of affairs when it comes to rent and food and working a 9 to 5. And I can't do it either. Or I can tell him my experience. And TS and I talk about it on the show is we talk about anti-Semitism. And I think you'll be very pleased to know that I happen to agree with Charlie with what he's saying. I agree. Just because you have a critique of Benjamin Netanyahu or the Israeli government doesn't make you an anti-Semite. That's ridiculous. However, in a world that I have said hates the Jews, and they do, and anyone who wants to try to dispute that, I would challenge you to name another class, ethnic or theologic focused or ethnocentric, or one that is rooted in theological belief, like Muslims, like Jews, where their ethnicity and their religious beliefs are symbiotic. But you can take any race, color, creed, or other religious denomination outside of Christians and tell me, can you think of another group of people who've been persecuted more? And if you say black people, I'm going to laugh at you. Maybe in our world, but in the world, Jews, hands down, are one of the most persecuted group of people. Now, here's an example. If you're talking to somebody in an argument or a debate like Nick Fuentes or Stu Peters, they'll say, yeah, and they've been castigated out 203 countries. I wonder why that is. Why don't you tell me why that is? I'm just asking questions. You're being a fucking anti-Semite. An anti-Semite is not just for Jews, you simpletons. A Semite is a nomad, a traveler, a person who walks without destination, without country. Jews are not the only Semites. Muslims are Semites. So you have a situation here where people don't understand the fundamental definition of the word. And even TS in our interview didn't understand specifically exactly what an anti-Semite is. Because it's not just about prosecuting or persecuting somebody based upon their religious beliefs or ethnicity. I had it written down. And folks, we got to get some donations in here. So let's just hit our goal, okay? Because man, we got to do it. And I want to stay late and I want to do this. So an anti-Semite, and let's look at the origins. And when I say he didn't understand it, it's not that he didn't understand the literal definition. It's the etymology of the word. It's where it comes from. The word anti-Semite originally referred to a group of people who spoke the Semitic languages. And the Semitic languages there's 5 of them. No, there's 4. No, there's 5. There's 6. There's 5. It doesn't matter. Arabic, Aramaic, Hebrew, and then a few other ones. So Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, Amharic, and I don't know the other one. Sanskrit. I don't know. Anyone who speaks those languages are considered to be Semites. So if you show any ethnic or religious-based discrimination against those group of people, you're an anti-Semite. So the origin of Semite comes from that. Now, anti-Semite was coined in Germany in the 1800s. And it was coined by a gentleman named, I think it was Wilhelm Marr. Yeah. And he was a political activist or an agitator. And he used the term anti-Semitismus or I don't know how to say it. And the goal was to make Jew hatred sound modern, and respectable, and kind of to slap a label on it that you could do it and make it acceptable. So a perfect example is Zionism. They've turned Zionism into the new anti-Semite word. It makes it sound very professional, which is the right for Israel to have sovereignty and to be a recognized nation. But they have made Zionism into global expansion and taking over territories and reducing Muslim territory in favor of Jews. And Marr and others use this new phrase of anti-Semitism to mean opposition to Jews, not all Semitic people, despite what the word implied as its literal definition and its implied meaning. So this whole process of anti-Semitism was a word which is what the left does. They redefine words and they change their meaning and they put spin on them and they alter them in order to change vast amounts of vocabulary that has negative connotation by changing it to rebirth to their definition. This was done with the Daughters of the Confederacy as revisionist history of changing the word slavery to an argument about paid labor and free labor. Slavery, free labor. So when we see this throughout history and trying to relabel sexual mutilation as gender confused or reproductive health care instead of abortion, this democratic socialism versus socialism and communism, this is what they do. This is what they've always done. They change the words. So an anti-Semite is a German phrase and singled out the Jews as focusing on religion or ethnic background to persecute, prosecute, or subjugate a people to hatred and violence and everything else. But this now has changed where anti-Semitism, according to the ADL and others, is now anti-Semitism is pretty much anything you say about Jews is anti-Semitic if it's not in a positive way or support. I don't think that's really true, but I do believe a lot of people do that. Like, somebody will come on my page and they'll say, I can't believe the Jews are killing all these Gazans. And the first thing I say is not, you're an anti-Semite. I ask them a question. Are you Muslim? No. Okay. Are you a Christian? Yes. Okay. Do you believe in the sovereignty of Israel? And then they say, fuck you, Goy, or Goyim, or Jew lover, or whatever. And then I'm like, well, this is probably why people call you an anti-Semite, right? Because here's the crux. If I ask you, and you tell me, I don't like the NAACP. Why? I don't like what they stand for. Well, it's the National Association of Colored People. That's who they stand for. And they believe that the rights and civil rights may systemically be in place, but ultimately there is a collective group of people in a party who feel subjugated and downtrodden on by others based upon the color of their skin. And there's racial animus towards them. So they are in a collective group to maintain and have a solid foundation of support for their ethnicity and who they are. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, okay. Well, why? I think it's racist. What about it is racist? And then you can have a conversation. And you're going to find out one of two things. That person is going to say, I just think they're lazy. What? I think they have the NAACP so they can get away with things and sue people for racism and jobs and other things and use a legal safe haven like some sort of shelter to hide behind the race card every single time. And you're like, well, that's not what it is. Yeah, I just think they're lazy. Okay, you're starting to demonstrate some behavior that would be in the modern day considered to be racist. That doesn't mean you're a racist, but what you're saying is that you're basing it upon a stereotype and a prejudice about somebody. Yeah, that's not true. Okay, can you think of an example as a white person, Anglo-Saxon person? Can you think of something that would be similar. Nope. Let me give you an example. That all Christians are rednecks, poor, and on food stamps. Yeah, that just ain't fucking true. Whether it's true or not, there is a very real opinion by mostly Democrats that anyone from red states are on welfare, they're hicks, they're uneducated, they're Bible thumpers, they're gun-toting, grabbing, church-going, sundown town people. How does that make you feel? That's bullshit. That sounds racist. Yeah, it really is. So we can define racism that it's real. But just because you say something stupid doesn't mean you're a racist. It just means you're ignorant and you can't argue. Now, if you decide to go ahead and say, I want to kill all, okay, now we've got a problem. Not only are you racist, but you are a person who is a danger to other human beings and their individual rights as American citizens. And you are basing it upon race, color, creed, sexual disposition, or religion. And that is against the law. And you'll be held accountable for that. And the language you use will be held accountable for that. But here's the thing, is that you have to explain it in order for it not to be considered racist sometimes. So, for example, I don't like black people. Why not? Because I think all they're good at is sports, and I don't like them. Do you play sports? Yeah. Did you play basketball, football? Basketball. Did you try out for the team? Yeah. Did you make it? No. Do you think you have some animus towards black people because you weren't good enough to be on a black person basketball team? Yeah, probably. Okay, well now we've found out a reason why you don't like black people, and it's not just because of their color of their skin or their superiority in a sport. It's your inequities and your incapability of being good at something. So you have a responsibility as a human being to try to help that person understand their shortcoming. This is simple. And if they refuse to take it, then your responsibility is over. Racism should not be a deprogramming of people. It should be a concerted effort to try to educate and help people. But once they resist that programming, you're done. Because you are not going to change that person. This is why groups like ADL and the ACLU and anyone else who goes after Rainbow Coalition, who tries to, or AIPAC, who tries AIPAC, who goes after and tries to convince people that saying anything bad about a group of people is somehow your responsibility to cure them of their ignorance. It's not. And money and bribing politicians isn't going to do that. Or creating some sort of cancel culture isn't going to do it. The only thing that does it is education. And it's conversation that does that. But once that conversation is rejected, it's no longer your job to do so. So when we talk about anti-Semitism, and Charlie Kirk goes up there, and the long way around the barn is this, and he goes, listen, we just want to talk. I think Jews have every right to be a sovereign nation and everything else, and I'm not picking on them. I went in honeymoon there. I have a black friend, is basically what he said. I went up to the wall. I kissed the wall. I saw where Jesus walked on water. Okay, so, and now here comes the rest of it, which is to dismiss away based upon that you have a Jew friend or you spent some time. I spent time in Israel, and I've said anti-Semitic shit. Most of it's a joke, but I do it because I like to get a rise out of people. But do I think that everything Israel has ever done throughout history is perfect? No. I don't think everything the United States has done is perfect. But I can explain why. And when I do explain, here it is. Here's the rub. Here's the big one. Here's the big one. Is that when you sit down and you put yourself in a situation to share your opinion with others, whether it be a podcast or at a coffee table or at a family reunion or whatever it would be, and you say, I don't like Israel. Why? I don't think we should give Israel money. Why? I don't think Netanyahu is a good person. Why? Okay. Then the answer is he bombs all Gazans and kills kids. Okay. Do you understand why that's taking place? Not the reasoning, not the justification, but the why. Do you understand why Israel is bombing Gaza? Yeah, because they hate Muslims. But no, that's not why. Do you understand the acceptance of Muslims in Israel? Do you understand that people, a part of their parliamentarian form of government is that they have Orthodox, they have Muslims, they have homosexuals working, they have Indians, they have Pakistanis, they have Greeks, they have Russian. They are a multicultural country. They are an amalgamation of other countries, and they are accepting of Christians. Well, what about Hasidic Jews? Okay, well, what about Opus Dei? What about religious zealots in all religion? What about ISIS and Al-Qaeda? Yes, there are religious zealots and groups that are complete abominations to what they supposedly represent, but that doesn't mean all Jews. It doesn't mean all Muslims. It doesn't mean all Catholics. Yes, there are people in Israel who spit on Christians. There's people in Mississippi who spit on Latter-day Saints. Yes, it happens. You're absolutely, but that's not indicative of the entire country. A Christian person got killed in Israel. Christian people get killed every single day here. Yes, you're right. It happens. It absolutely happens, but that's not indicative of the entire country. Oh yeah, well they bombed the USS Liberty. Okay, yes, they did. Absolutely. They friendly fired. And we killed roughly all the casualties inside the Gulf War. Almost 2% were done by American fire or friendly fire from another country. Yes, it happens. It's war. And there's a point where their reasons are no longer reasons. They're excuses. A reason is a causation that something takes place because of a reaction. An excuse is asking to have it forgiven or removed or dismissed because you don't know why. It's perfectly with my son. Why didn't you clean your room? Because I want to play video games instead. Okay, that's a reason. Son, why didn't you clean your room? I don't know. That's an excuse. You do know. What's the reason? I forgot. No, you didn't. You went and did something else. You consciously didn't do it. Why? Do you understand the difference? So when Charlie Kirk does this, what he's saying is, what he should say, and I don't care if he does or not because I can't control Charlie Kirk, but when you're sitting around with those group of people, you should simply say the following. In this day and age, with sensitivity around Christians, no Christian likes to be persecuted. Christians don't like to be made fun of. We don't like people attacking our God. We don't like to be called stupid. Okay, we don't want to hear that God doesn't exist. You guys get offended at that. It bothers you. Don't tell me it doesn't bother you. You're lying. Of course it bothers you. When people talk about guns and say guns should be confiscated, and I'm just a fucking crazy-ass redneck, that bothers me. Yes, it bothers me. When you call me a Nazi, it bothers me. Now, do I go home and suck my thumb and huddle in a ball and fucking get my safe space? No, but it bothers me. Do you think maybe that Jews are sick and fucking tired of hearing that they're the devil, that they betrayed Christ, that they run all the banks, that they've got big noses, that they run the porn industry, that the Rothschilds took over the world? And you know what? There's people right now who are watching this, or there's people who are looking to change this topic, who are like, you just said it. You just said it all right there. That's why we don't like them. Then say it. So I can call you an anti-Semite, because you are. Because it's exactly what it is. There is a taboo element in this country that we are afraid to call out what's real and what's not. And the one thing that I loved about TS the other day and spending the day with him is that, paraphrasing, and it's in the interview, that he will not allow a fallacy to stand. He will not allow a false premise to be spoken in his presence. And I am the same way. If you don't like Israel, then lay out the reason you don't like Israel. Lay out the fact that the United States and the Bush administration told them not to get involved in the Iraq war, and we were specifically getting involved because of Kuwait, because of Israel. That you don't want to give them $363 billion, that you think that money should be spent here. Make the argument. You don't like Netanyahu. He's from a far-right fringe element. That you don't like the Talmud because of what they say about Jesus. You don't like Hasidic Jews because they're ultimately zealots. Say all those things. It's totally fine. But just make sure you know how to fucking say it. And you know how to argue your point. And you're not regurgitating Aryan nation bullshit that has literally been spewed down for thousands of years. Because the moment you do that, the moment you wield that sword, the moment that you hit people over the head with it, you are wielding something that you did not earn and it took no discipline to ascertain or gain. Which means you don't understand the etymology or the roots or the history of what you're saying, and that is fucking dangerous. Words aren't dangerous. It's my free speech. No, it's your fucking ignorance that gets people tossed into fucking ovens and gassed with Cyclone B. That's dangerous. And you're expressing terminology and words with no restriction, hesitance, or discipline. That's people's problems. So when Charlie Kirk does this and he says this, it's not regulating speech. It's ensuring that the speech, not everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves the opportunity to speak, but not everyone deserves to be heard. That's my point. And when you have people like Nick Fuentes, who honestly, I think Nick Fuentes should have he should be on every single platform. Because Nick says some stuff that, yes, I vehemently disagree with. But honestly, he's not stupid. He's intelligent and he understands this topic, and he makes some very valid points. He just doesn't know how to express them. And he'll learn. He'll grow up. He'll change his viewpoints. He's already starting to change. He's already starting to flirt with what a relationship with a woman would be like, even though he despises women. He has been very, very positive about Ben Shapiro lately, not because he fucking disagrees with everything Ben Shapiro says, but what he says is at least Ben Shapiro is consistent and he's loyal. And he's not an American. He's not an American first. He is absolutely Israel first. And it is true. Anybody who watched Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro since October 7th, they've been 100% Israel first. They've gone against Trump, everything he said. Anything that is remotely against the state of Israel, Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro have rallied against it. And they are opposite of anti-Semitic. They have demonstrated anti-American tendencies. This is true. This is 100% true. And anybody who doesn't believe me, just go look at Mark Levin lately. If you say anything, he's fucking going against Trump on Epstein because of the rumors that Epstein worked for Mossad. And he knows this, and so does Shapiro. And they're going to make sure that they push that as far away from Israel as possible, whether it's true or not. It's possible to have a very complex conversation with multiple layers and multiple outcomes and multiple opinions without being ignorant. But you better study. You better understand what you're talking about before you start wielding that sword without discipline. So do I appreciate what Charlie Kirk's trying to do? Yes. But we must understand that the diametrically opposed viewpoint, that the world is woke, that DEI is bad, that white fragility and toxic masculinity is absolutely atrocious. And that woke Sololinsky, Nietzsche, Darwin bullshit that you'll find by reading the Woke Mind Virus, all of that needs to be castigated out. But also don't forget that racism, that sexism, that misogyny, prejudiced, persecuting religious beliefs are real. Let's take a second, let that soak in. That all those things I just mentioned on the other side, the left side, those woke ideology, the Maoist beliefs, the controlling speech, having people live in fear, putting them in prison for their beliefs, all of that's real. DEI, white fragility, toxic masculinity, unconscious bias, all real. All 100% real. But white supremacy, racism, sexism, misogyny, religious persecution, anti-Semitism are all real too. And you can't be here and you can't be here. But you can come here and recognize that both are true. You can recognize that Hamas is 91% of Gazans believe that Israel should be murdered and killed and driven out of Israel from the river to the sea. 91%. And you can say that October 7th was a horrific and a heinous act of murder and completely grotesque, and anyone involved or anyone who supports it should be eradicated from the earth. That's a great position. You can also agree that and make a stand that Israel has a right to prosecute this war any way they deem fit. All of that's true. But you also should understand that 40,000 children dying is not a good thing. And that what Israel has to do can be done with compassion to the best of its ability. And I believe Israel's done that. I believe they have been very selective with their targets. We've seen the kill-death ratio of actually enemy combatants and civilians. It's one of the best of any prosecuted war or conflict or battle that has taken place in the last 180 years. But we also need to understand that there's 40,000 dead kids. We also need to understand that they're starving. We also need to understand these things, that they're displaced from their homes. And there's 2 million people that have no home left. We can say those things. We can say those things. And it's okay. And you're not anti-Semitic. You're not pro-Hamas. And that is the point that TS and I talk about, is that just because you said any of those things doesn't make you pro-Israel or pro-Hamas or anti-Israel or anti-Gaza or anti-Hamas. It means that you are a rational adult who can see both sides of an equation, and you're not going to take fucking sports teams and take sides on something that has to do with human life, the persecution, rape, murder, and annihilation of millions of Jews, and the callousness of the world towards them, and the fact that there is 3,000 some odd years of history between us and them that we don't comprehend, and you might possibly just want to sit this one out because you don't know what you're talking about. That's it. That's the point of this. Oh. Looks like we got some donations. Hang in there, guys. Olivia's going to come in here and fix this. Everyone hang in. I don't know what's what. She'll be home soon. She just bought yogurt, so she'll be home soon, and she'll put them all in. All right. Everyone understand that? I mean, do we get what I'm saying? Are you picking up? And honestly, if there's a groiper out there, call in the show. And if there is a Muslim supporter from or a terrorist supporter of ISIS-K or Al Qaeda or the Muslim Brotherhood, JIP, Hezbollah, Hamas, call in. And if you're a Jew who disagrees with me, call in too. But you know what's funny is I bet that all three of those groups, besides the terrorist groups, because there's no way, will probably say, I disagree with some, I agree with the other, but either way, fairly well said. Sandy says, so then how are they any different from the Nazis in that action? Because the Nazis weren't at war. The Nazis were systematically propagating and perpetuating genocide and ethnic cleansing of a country on a complete lie. That's why. Because the Nazis not only killed Jews, they killed Turks. They killed Russians. They killed French. They killed English. It wasn't just 6 million Jews. There was another 5 million people who weren't Jews who were murdered by the Nazis. Israel, they're not the Nazis. And if your whole point is What makes them different? What makes the United States different when we flash boiled hundreds of thousands of Japanese? Were we justified in doing that, killing civilians? Weren't they innocent? What did the Japanese civilians do? Why did we purposely pick Nagasaki and Hiroshima? Why did we purposely pick densely populated civilian areas to nuke? Why didn't we nuke Tokyo? Why didn't we nuke Hokkaido? Why didn't we nuke Okinawa? Okinawa was easier to reach than any of those. Sandy, I don't believe you are. I'm just answering your question. I don't believe you're being wrong. What makes them different from the Nazis? I explained it. The Nazis were global expansionists. They didn't have any religious cause or religious motivation. They used religion to assert power from the country. They took the hatred of Jews because they had to have someone to blame. They were neutered during the Versailles Treaty. And instead of blaming the German government, they blamed the Jews. And Hitler used that. He used the pride of Germany. He used a country that was on the down and outs, the country that was taken off the global stage, a country that was neutered in the First World War. They had a horrible hatred for Russia. They had a horrible hatred for Europe. And Germany felt ostracized. And just a few short years, Hitler was able to rise power in the Nazi Socialist Party and create a hatred. And he gave them a causation. He gave them a reason. And the reason was no longer God, or the reason wasn't some sort of dogmatic principle. It wasn't a faith in government or national pride. It was, he gave them a reason to hate. And they already hated. He gave them a target. And they didn't just start murdering Jews, they trivialized them. They removed them out of the richest parts of the neighborhoods and the cities. They put them in the slums. They started throwing feces at them. They started making sure that the bread that they got and the food that they got was covered in maggots, that the wine was turned to vinegar, that everything about them was focused on making life as difficult as possible. And then they started ruining their businesses. Then they started putting gold stars. Then they started putting them through a situation of constant oppression with street gangs, destroying their businesses, making sure they dumped manure and other things in front of their businesses and their properties. So it was a gradual increase of tolerating the intolerable, things that you would never, ever do, but became anesthetized to. You became numb to. And like Novocaine, continued application over in the same nerve and the same root will create numbing. And then you can do anything. Then you no longer feel. So once they turn the Jews into vermin and rats, like they call us, maggots, and they call us the same thing that the Germans did in 38 all the way up to 46, 48, is that they call us the same thing because it's dehumanizing. And once you go ahead and you anesthetize that nerve and you numb it, you don't feel. And they made the Jews literally something obsolete like rats. Because that's what the cartoons did and Goebbels did, is they made rats out of the Jews. And the Germans would be in their polished uniforms with their swastika, national pride. And then they would enter and there would be a man with a cane, but he had rat-like features and whiskers and big ears, big nose. They turned them into rodents. And everybody agrees that you have to exterminate rodents. You folks need to understand this is ugly and it's evil. And we have forgotten and don't understand what evil looks like anymore. And we excuse it away as freedom of speech and an opinion. But that's not what it is. It's hate. And not everybody who speaks out against Israel hates Jews. But they better well be able to explain why. Otherwise, you're just adopting rhetoric that has literally been around forever. It's just the times have changed. And if it wasn't a ship that was bombed, it would be a village that was burned down. And if it wasn't a village burned down, it would be a guard that was told about a certain prophetic young man. And if it wasn't the guards that were told about a prophetic young man, it'll be the betrayal of Jesus and the disciples. There will always be a reason to blame a group of people that you don't understand and don't know about. But there is also a jealousy and a hatred towards Jews because they are the chosen people. You even have them saying, well, they're not Judea. They're not the Jews that were mentioned in the Bible. They're different. Anything to accept intolerance and hatred, anything to verify what they think. And I'm not here. This is also about Muslims. There's people in this country. I am ashamed to be an American sometime with the way people talk about Muslims. That all Muslims are bad, that every Muslim is evil. That's bullshit. How many fucking Muslims do you know? Some Afghani people, some of the most amazing human beings I've ever met in my life. And a ton of them did an ungodly amount of work as NGOs for our country. And were treated like absolute dog shit by Biden. They follow the Quran. They pray. They kneel to the sun. They kneel to a God that we don't understand. They pray to Allah. In Allah's glory. So what? It's not so much that Muslims. Bobby Richardson, 8803, because I love you, and we love you too. Thank you. And it's not that Muslims are all evil. It's that they are susceptible to sin. Don't we understand this as Christians? He who is without sin may cast the first stone. We cast a lot of stones. I think people should look more introspectively and retrospectively on their own lives versus others. I don't know. That's just what I think. It's a long conversation, but it is what it is. Lori Rogers says, Sandy says, but why does any country kill children sadly? Lori, I'm going to answer it like I would answer my kids. And it's not a bad question. It's a good question. 7295, my God. Mel Lowe, paid to call. It's great. Thank you, Mel. We love you. Love you very much. You guys are the best. Lori, here's the answer to the question that I'll give you. And this was not told, I'm going to share something personal. This was not told to me by my dad, by a squad leader, by a corporate executive. This was told to me by a psychiatrist, a psychologist to be exact. Psychiatrist prescribes medicine, psychologist doesn't. A psychologist. And I was asking the question about trying to find a way to justify why sending in a strike package into a location, no matter how many times we had done it before, no matter how many times it worked to perfection. Thank you, CJ Jenkins, 2110. God bless you. No matter how many times we had run the gambit on this and nailed with precision, sometimes things happen. And when you get the strike package details back and you get the ISR back or you get a visualization and you find that whatever you sent in didn't hit your intended target, but maybe hit a school or hit a mosque, and you pull kids out of the rubble, you ask yourself the exact same question that you just asked. Brad Lewis, keep speaking the truth, $50. Thank you, sir. I'm going to do my best. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. That's so very nice of you. We have $466.66. I don't like seeing 666. Can we fix this, please? Thank you. And it took me 20 years to ask this question, honestly, and just simply ask the words, why do kids have to die? Why does God take them? Why did God allow the things to happen to me? Some people know my history. 2110. I'm going to put that up there. Lois Bentley. Thank you so much, Lois. We love you. So I'm gonna answer the question with the same thing that I got. And the comment that I got from a psychologist who was helping me through some of these things that I was struggling with was pretty simple. Which way could it have happened any differently? 2110, Thomas Austin, keep the faith. Always will. Appreciate you. Thank you, Thomas. Love you, buddy. How could it have been done any differently? How would you like to ensure that Israel is protected and has a right as a sovereign nation to exist without killing kids? Sandy, your questions are fantastic. Stop apologizing. I don't take offense to anything you've said. I specifically want people to challenge my thought process. You guys, this TS interview is so mate. You're going to watch tomorrow. I might come on and just stream it, and we'll watch it together. We'll talk about that, especially with the donations that are coming in tonight. If this keeps climbing like this, I'll just have to come on Saturday. But that was the question, and I looked at the lady, and I said, I don't understand what you're asking me. And she goes, tell me a way you could have done the things you did differently. And I sat there, and it must have been, I don't know, it's at least the full hour. And I couldn't answer. And that I carried that with me. I never went back to her. Because I came to the realization that I had to forgive myself because there was no other way to do it. That nothing would have stopped that from happening. There was no mistake. It just happened. No way. And at some point you have to realize that you may feel all powerful and omnipotent and important, but really you control nothing. You have influence on the ebbs and flows of your life, but you don't control what happens to you. Decisions you make have positive and negative impacts on you, but you don't get to control that. You can't change people's minds. You can't control if a tomahawk decides to go astray. You can't control if there was a malfunction. You can't even control if someone decided to go ahead and send it downrange to begin with, because that's not your decision. Human beings take way too much responsibility for the things that they can't control. And I think that is what drives us crazy more than anything, which winds up giving us a reason to look for people to blame. And this is where our ignorance comes in. If we would try to surrender control and stop trying to control everything that happens in our lives, maybe we'll stop looking for a reason on who to blame for that. Many people have tried. From Hung to Ming to Hitler to Bush to Yamamoto to the Russian Tsar to the Ayatollah. There's so many different people throughout history who have laid waste to their fellow man simply because they couldn't find the answer within themselves and hit that nagging scab that was inside their soul that maybe they are just destined not to find the answer, and wherever they look will lead to their own destruction. You have to remember that you're not responsible for everything that happens to you. And you're certainly not responsible for everything that happens in the world. And really, truly, in the scheme of things, you are as insignificant as a gnat. The world will continue to spin without you. You're not as important as you think you are. Your family will move on. Your friends will move on. You will be missed. You may not even be forgotten, but most will. And only remembered on anniversaries or only remembered on dates that really make people feel their own mortality. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's natural. The human psyche cannot continue to take the mental abuse that it applies to itself. It has to move on. It has to heal. It has to find the coping mechanisms. Otherwise, it'll self-destruct. And this is what we also talked about with TS, is how depression is formed. It's certainly not something that is inherent in you. It is born, and it's a coping mechanism to teach you how to control. And it's an ancillary, it's not a benefit, but it's an ancillary result of trauma. It's an ancillary result for something you cannot cope with and take. And your body shuts down because you don't have the ability to cope and understand and how to process. And I haven't been depressed since I figured that out. I don't get depressed. I don't get sorry for myself. I don't quit. I don't give up. I don't bitch. I don't complain. I just do the fucking job and continue. And if I have a bad day, I fight through it. And if I don't want to go work out, I go work out. If I don't want to wake up, I get out of bed. Because if I don't, my body will result to the coping mechanisms that it's designed for me, and that'll fall into depression. And I won't allow that to happen. It's been a good show. I appreciate you guys. I think we've got all donations in. Liv, are we good? I want to say thank you to everybody. We're having a good night. I'm going to be in a really good night. Thank you. A fun night. I had a good time. If I cussed too much tonight, I apologize. I'm a little tired. If you have depression, there's a reason. There's nothing wrong with your brain. We talked about that. Listen, you need to watch this T.S. Dixon interview. It has everything. It is an amazing interview. Damn it. If this doesn't do well, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself because it really, but remember, I can't control it. I'll tell you, man, there is something so liberating about doing this job because if I compare myself to other people constantly, I look at the people I was comparing myself to 3 years ago. Those people aren't even around anymore. And I look at myself comparing myself to people like Damani Felder or Tonto or Ryan Weaver. And these people are friends of mine. And then I started comparing myself to people like Laura Logan or looking at Roseanne, people like T.S. Dixon. And these are now friends of mine, at least in some form. I figure if you have their cell phone number, they're at least an acquaintance. And then I look at people who went to Maha, like Sarah Carter and RFK Jr. And then I looked that I had a publicist sitting in my room right down here who was at the Maha event. And I've got a CEO benefactor / friend who supports my show in Wimkin who was also at the Maha event. I have come so far. And it's not what I want. I don't want 104 people. I want 10,000 people, but that's not important. The most important thing is that you continue to take a step forward. And that when you take a step back, you have a plan to regain that ground. Because in life, every inch is absolutely critical to the next. And if you don't wake up and you don't get out of bed and you don't go to work and you don't lift the weights and you don't cook the dinner and you don't shower, in that one period of time that you didn't do what you're supposed to, you could miss that opportunity that brings you to the next level. And I am not going to miss that opportunity. I worked too fucking hard to miss that opportunity. Jose says, Matt, why do you wear a cap inside? Several reasons. I don't like, first of all, I like ball caps. That's number one. Number two is I'm not in the military anymore. And wearing a cover inside doesn't bother me. But I take it off at the dinner table. But most importantly, I'm insecure about the size of my head. I don't like it. I think I have a huge forehead. And when you see me in this video, I have a side profile. I don't like my side profile. Love the front. Love that. Love that. I hate that. Because I have a giant head. I'm a big fucking guy. And if you ask TS or anybody else, I'm a big dude. So that's why. I wear a hat because sometimes I just don't feel comfortable. Yesterday, I didn't wear a hat, and I was okay with it. But I have a very low self-esteem with my looks. Very insecure about that. And honestly, I'm aware of it. And I have a wife that looks like that. And honestly, I've never had a problem getting girls. I've never had a problem having dates. When I was younger, oh my God, I didn't even go to prom. But there was a point in my life that I gained confidence. And I learned that this has more of an impact on building a relationship with a girl than this. But this worked. I like my body. I work out. I take care of my body. I'm not ashamed of myself. Am I in perfect shape? No. But for a 51-year-old man, I'm in pretty damn good shape. I'll put myself against most 51-year-olds. But I'm insecure about my head. I'm insecure about my face. I'm insecure about my chubby cheeks. I'm insecure about my facial surgeries and my reconstructions. Because the older I get, you can start seeing them. Most people can see that in the cheek right here, where that entire jawbone is gone. So I wear a hat. I have a huge forehead. So it's just an insecurity. I have a Cro-Magnon head. I have a football player head. I've worn a helmet most of my life, whether it was playing hockey or in the military or, extracurricular, whatever. And it feels comfortable for me. But yeah, I think that's probably why I wear a hat more than anything. Plus, it looks good. It looks cool. I don't know. I think a person in a hat, I like my tattoos. I like my beard. I like my hat. It's just kind of my motif. It's who I am. It's what I am. And I don't think there's any reason to take it off. But it's not always. You know what I mean? Not always. But it's a good question. No one's ever asked me before. Matt, the counter behind you. Yeah, it's resetting. It's resetting. It's my Facebook follows. So sometimes it does a complete refresh. Okay? Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm reading people's stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's why I wear a hat. Plus, Olivia likes me in hats. Yeah, I have my own worst critic. But see, the thing is people, real quick, if people really knew me, I'm very insecure. And people are like, there's no way. There's no way you're insecure. You have no idea. I constantly critique. I think I'm small. I'm not built right. I think I'm skinny. My arms aren't big enough. My shoulders aren't big enough. My legs are chicken legs. And then I have people who come and go, dude, what the fuck? How are you in the shape you're in for a 51-year-old? And people see me stand up. And somebody said it the other day, I think it was Shirley Butler. She's like, why are you so skinny? Well, you finally saw me standing up completely. I'm not skinny. I'm not fat. But I've got these chubby fucking cheeks that take it away. But if you see my side profile, people who've seen me in real life, people who've seen my photographs know, and it doesn't bother me. But there's days I just don't like my hair. I don't like my head. I've got the curliest hair in the world. I've got calyx. I hate my fucking hair. So I just put a hat on. And I'm not bald. I've got a good amount of hair. I just don't like it. Emmy says, Matt, someone once said to look into the mirror until you like what you see. Focus on the parts you don't like until you're into acceptance. That's pretty good. I think I've gotten to that place. I like who I am. I love myself. And that's allowed me to love my children and my wife. And there was a time when I didn't love myself, and that made it impossible to love them entirely. But yeah, self-love is important. I like who I am. I don't look at myself and go, oh, I used to. I used to. But also the other thing is the lights. Oh, the lights are killer. The lights are killer. And that little bit of shade is nice for me because my eyes are really, I have chronic, not dry eyes, but they water, especially when I get tired. And being under the fans and the lights also messes with me. So there's a bunch of reasons why I wear hats. I don't know anything else. Because if I was with my uncle and I went to the dinner table, he would bitch slap me across the room and take it off. Could you show my hubby your new Trump bobblehead? Sure, Kimberly. There it is. It's the fight one. And that's it. It doesn't bobble as much as I want. It's pretty good. All right. I am almost there, and I'm 60, so you're doing great. Keep it up, Maddie. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for... Emmy, I don't think I've ever heard you. See, this is what drives me crazy. There are fans. You guys need to talk. Stop watching the show and not talking. Would love to hear from you. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you say anything. But Sandy, you got to understand, just because I'm on a show, this is who I am. It's the real me. But if you want to find out the truth about somebody, just ask them the question. You know what I'm saying? But I don't share everything about me. But I'm not this. I don't think I'm the smartest. Like I've been critiquing myself on TS and going, oh, you know what? I didn't show up the best. I should have been smarter. And then I got to tell myself, humble yourself, you dick. They're not here to listen to you in this show. You got to listen to TS. He knows this shit. And it was natural, but I got to give myself that conversation. You know, I got to tell myself, humble yourself. You don't need to talk all the time. Sometimes you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And with TS, I'm not the smartest person in the room. But if he wants to talk about the JFK assassination, I'll fucking run circles around him. You want to talk about military and geopolitical situations? I'll run circles around him. You want to talk about something outside of the topics that he's an expert in. But see, that's the great thing about TS. He knows he's not the smartest person in the room all the time either. And that's what you'll see in this interview because he shows deference. When I ask things and talk, what he said at the end of the interview, and I'll tell you, and this is it. And you know what? After I was done, I gave him the biggest hug. And then I literally went to the bathroom and I cried. True story. I end the show and I said, dude, that was a great show. That is going to be awesome. And he's like, dude, that was so fun. That was amazing. And he goes, like, how did I do? And it's an insecurity thing. He's just like me. He's just like everybody. And I'm like, dude, you fucking killed it. You humbled me with your intelligence. He goes, whatever. He's like, dude, you are the next Joe Rogan. And that's not true. But for him to say that, Jerry Brunson donated 1954. I'm still out here. Thanks, Jerry. To me, and by the way, Emmy, keep talking. Thank you for talking. I wasn't trying to say anything bad. I just want people to keep contributing. But for him to say that, for a person who's been on hundreds of podcasts or a person who's on RSBN, it meant a lot. Because I don't emulate Joe Rogan. I'm nothing like Joe Rogan at all. In fact, we're hardly alike at all. If I was going to put myself against anybody, it'd be Bongino. But even I'm not Bongino. Nobody's those people. I can't be those people, and I don't want to try to be. I want to be me. And people like him and people like you and people like my family and my wife, you guys allow me to be me, and that means the world to me. I got to go. I love you guys. I appreciate you. JD, that's funny. Jen McCarver, what's up, Jen? Good to see you. Yep, I've been kind of afraid to speak up, actually. I'm not the sharpest knife, you know. Some of my questions may seem like I don't know anything, and sometimes I need to ask, taking a risk when I do expose myself. Listen to me. This is the last thing I'll say. If you didn't see the beginning part of this show, there was a guy who called about a train. And I'm going to write a story about this tomorrow. And when he called, he said, my name's just Dave. I said, well, you don't know your name? Did your parents not give you one? And I put it in. Oh, you got it, babe. And I saw this guy, and I thought he was a troll. And he's like, I just saw your thread, and I just wanted to see if you like trains. And I learned a long time ago that if someone enters your life, give them a chance to change it. And you don't have to trust them. You don't have to give them power. You don't have to do anything for them. But if they enter your life and that energy is at least in your circle, you owe it to allow them to even possibly change it for a second. And they can change it. What's up? You going to bed? You okay?
Yeah.
I love you, Squirt.
Love you.
Say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
That's right. Peace. He's got great hair. Take that mug, will you? Thanks. So that's it. You owe it to yourself to allow a person to impact your life, good or bad. You owe it. And as soon as I recognized that Dave wasn't a troll, I invested into him because I want to see him get the same damn thing that I'm looking for. A connection that has an opportunity to change my life. And I don't know Dave. Dave could be a multimillionaire. And Dave could have been a retired CFO for a railroad. Or maybe he is he has a museum, the largest railroad collection and engine collection in the world. Maybe he is just Dave. But I like to think that if someone comes into your life, you should try to leave them better than you found them. But I also believe that if people come and try to take that energy away from you and take advantage of you, you fucking bitch slap them across the world. That's why I engage with the trolls. because I'm looking for something more and I want them to change my life, or I want to have the chance to change theirs. But if you're coming in to take advantage of me, I'm going to fucking slam your dick in the dirt. So when people say, Matt, don't engage with the trolls, no, I'll always engage with the trolls. And that's what I do. You know what I mean? Yes, Ethan's growing like a weed. He's finally growing, thank God. All right, good night, everybody. Listen, I'll see you guys. I'm going to get this show cut, the rest of it tomorrow. I got to get the podcast up tonight. Ugh. And then I'm out of here. But then I'll have this podcast up tomorrow. God bless. Have a great night. Watch the beginning of this show. The Dave interview was great. And all the other people who called, I really do appreciate you, Mel. I love you. Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you, Elizabeth. And anybody else who called that I forgot that I don't think they did. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for taking care of us. We do appreciate it. We can't say thank you enough. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.